infield and take a look at some of the memorabilia in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame.
Well, Scott does a wonderful job continuing to promote our game in this country, and as we talked about in the pregame show, it's something that all of us baseball fans in this country are very proud of, reminding people that we're not just a hockey nation.
And visiting you and your wife Tamara and the kids in Windsor, I went through the Windsor Sports Hall of Fame. That's pretty impressive, too.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to honor our Canadians.
This first inning brought to you by Ford Employee Pricing. Drive to win and then get $2,110 in total price adjustments on the 2016 Focus Titanium. When you pay what Ford employees pay, it's easy to get into a Ford. Blue Jays trying to sweep the Twins here and deal them their 10th straight loss. Minnesota comes in here 49-80. They've dropped 14 of the last 17 games. The Blue Jays, conversely, today are trying to go a season-high 18 games over the 500 mark. They come in with a game lead on the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox are the Sunday night game of the week at Fenway Park hosting the Kansas City Royals. That's shortly after 8 o'clock Eastern. The Red Sox, a game back, the Orioles 3 behind, and the Orioles host the Blue Jays tomorrow night for the first of 3 night games. We'll be on there at 7 o'clock, 7:05 first pitches. Lefty Wade Miley tomorrow night against Marco Estrada. Ubaldo Jimenez Tuesday night against lefty Jay Happ. And then Giovanni Gallardo against Aaron Sanchez on Wednesday.
Well, it should be a lot of fun, and the Blue Jays would like to take care of business here at home and complete the sweep of the last-place Twins before embarking on a big trip against the AL East.
3 in Baltimore, then an off day in St. Pete, 3 then against the Rays, and finishing up in about a week and a half with 3 at Yankee Stadium. Brian Dozier will lead it off. The Twins in their road grays. He's got a red 2 on his shirt. And on a just plain beautiful day for a ball game, it's time to play ball. R.A. Dickey's first pitch dances in there for a strike, 80 miles an hour. And that was a little giddy up on that dance. So with that, we are underway. Dozier in the series 3 for 10. Dickey's next pitch, swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. So the level goes from 80 to 76, and get ready for that unpredictability all year. That's what R.A. Dickey is all about. And the strike 2 pitch. That is high. As we speak right here with the 2 strikes, Devin Travis, who has shifted to the left side, goes back to play on the right side. What did Dozier do yesterday? Singled on the ground to right with 2 strikes on him. 1-2 pitch. Hit down the right field side, foul, may be playable. Edwin down the line, sunglasses on to the track. He's there and makes the catch. A basket catch right there at his chest.
First baseman, number 7, Joe Mauer.
Nice job by Edwin there, navigating himself around that short wall in foul territory in the first base line. He was just about a stride or stride and a half away from that wall as he made that catch, securing it with 2 hands.
And those are tough plays that he made look easy right there.
It is. It's a difficult play because you really have to watch yourself in front of that wall, and he did a very good job.
The left-hand hitting Joe Mauer up. Dickey delivers, ground ball back to the mound. R.A. has it, waits for Edwin to get to the bag. A soft toss over there, 2 down.
Right fielder, number 26, Max Kepler.
So at 1:08 Eastern Daylight Time, we are underway. 25 Celsius degrees at 77 degrees Fahrenheit. R.A. might be the best pitcher on the staff that after he delivers a pitch, he becomes an infielder immediately with a great position to field. Balls hit right back to the mound to him. First pitch strike to the left-handed hitting rookie Max Kepler.
Well, he does it so well, and that's how he won a Gold Glove. He finishes his delivery, and he was really both feet in front of him in a good athletic position to field his position.
Kepler floats one foul off to the left, 0-2.
And it's hard to do. A lot of pitchers, traditional type pitchers, if you're throwing more of a high velocity, more of a max effort type pitcher, a lot of times your momentum as a right-hander will take you off to the first base side, lefty to the third base side, and it's difficult to maintain that good fielding position.
Strike 2 pitch, strike 3 called, inning over, and R.A. Dickey breezes through the Twins here in the top of the first. And everybody could use a pretty good breeze here today.
0.99% with 0 down.
That's it. Now get back in there. Includes freight and fees for 60 months. Taxes extra OAC. See HondaOntario.com.
Want to watch a game live? Get your tickets online at BlueJays.com. This is Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
And submit your questions via Twitter using the hashtag HHExperts, and then have them answered later in our game. It's all brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice. Nice hand for Jose Bautista. We'll start it off here in the bottom of the first against Twins right-hander Kyle Gibson. All right, Dickie had a quick 1-2-3 first. Gibson would love to do the same, but he's got three pretty good hitters here. Bautista, Donaldson, and Encarnacion. Gibson's pitch, rock deep left center field, long high drive, first pitch of the ball game. Running along the left field line is Grossman, and he bangs heads, colliding at the track with Danny Santana. Bautista at second base. The throw comes back into the infield. A head-on collision in left center field, and the Blue Jays have a runner in scoring position to start this one.
I like it like that. She working that back. I don't know how to act. Slow motion for me. Slow motion.
Off hitter teeing off, and that first pitch from Kyle Gibson. Robbie Grossman gave chase. It looked like he was going to be there, misjudged it at times, but then by that time the center fielder Danny Santana was arriving on the scene. They could not hear each other. Poor communication in the Twins outfielder. That's a pretty stiff collision there in left center field.
Well, Bautista starts it with a two-base hit. Here's Donaldson on a 6-game hitting streak, and Paul Molitor in that first base dugout must be wondering what is happening. Pitch to Donaldson. A strike on the inside corner. The only good thing, Paul, nobody was hurt with those two outfielders with that massive collision.
Well, at least not yet. You can see from our vantage point right here, Robbie Grossman, the left fielder, twice now has bent over at the waist with his hands on his knees. He's still feeling his side. It looked like his hip area that collided with Santana. It'll be interesting to see both of these players if they remain in the game after this inning.
Those are situations, Joe, where oftentimes a player's still on the field, lying there, prone or on his back.
It looked as though Grossman had misjudged it. Then he recovered. It looked like he had it. By that time, Santana was on the scene. Big-time collision.
Gibson back 0-1. The pitch fouled off past third base coach Luis Rivera. It skips up into the stands where a fellow in a yellow shirt has that souvenir.
You know, and even as we're talking, Jerry, Robbie Grossman again in left field, bending over. Danny Santana, after that pitch, he's still looking like he's just holding those arms down. You got to believe at least they both got winded, both of their upper bodies smashing together.
Gibson looks back at second, just getting started. First inning, no score. 0-2 pitches low and gets away a little bit from Kurt Suzuki, but it goes to his left to keep Bautista at second base.
Well, you're certainly right. You have to feel for Paul Molitor in that Twins first base dugout. This is a Hall of Fame caliber player, and then now he has to watch this team that has just struggled mightily in many aspects of the game, but defense has been one of them. Numerous errors. This one not an error, but it's a misplay by his outfielders.
A look back at second by the right-hander. Here's a 1-2 pitch, fouled off at the plate, and that one got Donaldson on the right knee, and he's hobbling around on one leg as if on a pogo stick, and he's going all the way over to the Blue Jays' third base dugout and grimacing in severe pain, and now drops to both knees as trainer Mike Frostad comes out to check him out. Wow. So Donaldson and Grossman can get together here, but Josh comes up a lot more lame than those two outfielders, and we already commented on how hurt they were.
That's that two-seam fastball bearing in on Josh, and he got it so deep that when he fouled it off, he actually fouled it off his back leg. Looked like it caught him on the outside of the knee and probably right in that kneecap area where there's not a whole lot of protection.
He was going over to the third base dugout on that left leg, keeping the right leg off the ground. The crowd saw it on the Jays Vision scoreboard, and you could hear them gasp. And Josh still is not okay, Joe.
When you foul a ball off your knee or your ankle or your shin, it's all bone. There's no protection, and that's where Josh is feeling it right now. He's trying to walk it off. You're going to have to pull this guy physically out of the game, I think, to get him out of there. He's in the right-handed batter's box already.
Where is Wendy Sokoloff when we need her? Our injury reports this year brought to you by Sokoloff. Visit areyouhurt.ca. Well, Wendy, we've got a couple of clients for you here. Come on out to the game later on.
We might have to keep that in hand for 9 innings because this has been a mash unit looking like the beginning of this ball game.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Donaldson. We'll see how he does here. Bautista at second. Gibson's pitch inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And when Donaldson's hurt like that, you know it's serious.
Well, and the reaction was instantaneous, too, and that's why that baseball caught him right, looked like off the bone of his kneecap.
The sun has disappeared behind the cloud covering. And the 2-2 pitch. Low and inside, ball 3. So give Wendy Sokoloff a call. Her number is 416-966-HURT, or visit areyouhurt.ca and let those Sokoloff lawyers go to bat for you. We'll ask Josh if that's okay if they go to bat for him.
Bad for him, and maybe drop their business card in that Twins clubhouse on the way out.
That's true, too. A lot of clients over there. Bautista will lead. Pretty good sized lead. The 3-2 pitch. Fly ball right center field. High, not that deep. The center fielder, Danny Santana, goes over now with the right fielder and backing off Max Kepler. There's the catch, tagging Bautista. He comes to third. Throw comes back to the infield.
First baseman, number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
Well, it's an excellent at-bat by Josh Donaldson, especially after fouling a ball off your knee. He stays in there tough, works the count full, and then gets a fastball that he can drive the other way deep enough to move Jose to third.
Don't you just know Paul Molitor on that fly ball to right center field where the two outfielders are going after it on that side of the diamond was saying to himself, no, please, not again.
Somebody call it.
No score. First inning, Blue Jays have Bautista at third with 1 out. Infield plays about halfway. The pitch to Edwin. Ground ball foul third base side, and he almost hit that down on his left shin.
Gibson will average just over 91 miles per hour with his fastball, and he's also got the curveball, slider, and changeup, but it's a good two-seam fastball, and he'll run it in on the right-handed batters. We talked about Irvin Santana doing that yesterday. Did it very successfully up until that 6th, 7th inning.
Edwin looks it over low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Encarnacion yesterday, a big 2-run home run. The Blue Jays were down 5-1. That was part of the rally in the 6th inning to get the Blue Jays back in the game. Later, he had an RBI single in the 3-run 7th. Big part of the Blue Jays come from behind 8-7 win. Pitch to him. Fly ball center field. Tagging Bautista. Under it, Danny Santana. He comes in, makes the catch. Here comes Jose. Here comes the throw. It's on its way, and Jose steps around the catcher. Scores standing up as the ball squirts to the Blue Jays' third base dugout. Blue Jays in flight on a double and 2 fly balls, leading the Twins 1-0.
Designated hitter, number 55, Russell Martin.
RBI number 106 for Encarnacion. He came in with a lead of 4 over Albert Pujols, 5 over Big Papi with the Boston Red Sox, and he's in hot pursuit of Nolan Arenado out in California, who has 108.
He's chasing.
Yet another run batted in for Edwin. That's his 5th run batted in here in this weekend series. Russ Martin runs up the bunt, takes a strike on the outside corner as he pulled the bat back and had Trevor Plouffe charging from third.
The throw home from Danny Santana was up the third baseline, but I did not like the route the catcher Kurt Suzuki took to the baseball. He went inside the field of play.
Pitch inside.
As a catcher, when that throw is offline, up the third baseline, you go right up that line to cut the baseball off. He was inside the field of play, a couple of steps into fair territory, just allowed Bautista to get around him. If he stays in line, still don't know if he has him, but he certainly has a better chance to get to the baseball.
Russ looks it over low, 2-1.
You do not have to go around the base runner coming home. The runner will have to go around you. You're entitled to go catch the baseball. And Suzuki looked as though he was making sure he avoided the runner, allowing him to just score behind him.
And the Gibson pitch foul back to the screen. So 2-2 here on Russ Martin, who's had a big series as well. DHing today with Josh Tolley hitting 9th and catching R.A. Dickey. Josh caught yesterday. Russ had the day off. Martin on Friday in the Blue Jays' 15-8 win. 5 runs batted in. He had a 3-run bases clearing double and then later a 2-run homer. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing. It's a bit low. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
John Gibbons again today going 1-2-3. Bautista, Donaldson, Encarnacion. And I have to say, I love it. I love seeing those 3 names at the top of the lineup. That's no disrespect to Davin Travis hitting 8th today, but I also love him down there. It worked very well last year, too. It'll be interesting to see how he moves forward.
3-2 pitch. Low, ball 4. Martin draws another walk. He's been very adept at that here in the month of August.
The shortstop, number 2, Troy Tulowitzki.
So Martin with a 2-out walk here in the first inning. Blue Jays are doing something that the Twins have done the last 2 games here. The Twins on Friday night scored a run in the first inning, would lose 15-8. Then the Twins scored a run in the first inning yesterday and would lose 8-7. Now it's the Blue Jays trying to shatter that mold by scoring a run here in the first inning on their way toward what they hope is a victory. Troy Tulowitzki takes outside ball 1.
And we had this very similar conversation during the Angels series. When you get a last-place team on the ropes like that, if you can score a couple runs early, you can really take the wind out of their sails. As a player on that side of the field, it's almost as though they're playing games now, finding ways to lose.
Right-hander against right-hander. Tulowitzki pops one up foul, but it's going to go back out of play over the Twins' first base dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mother Nature has parted the clouds and the sun has broken through again. All the players down on the field basking in sunshine, along with the crowd as well. Another sold-out crowd here today at the Rogers Center. Gibson's pitch. That's over but high, 2-1. When the Blue Jays have scored first this year, they're 51-22. When they have not, they're 22-34. And the 22 wins would reflect the last couple of days coming from behind when the opponents have scored first. So the Blue Jays now trying to win their 52nd in this category. Pitch on the way, popped up into that sunshine. Third baseman comes in. Trevor Plouffe uses his hand as a shield from the sun, makes the catch in foul ground between the bag and the plate, and the inning is over. But Bautista doubles to left center field on a collision by Robbie Grossman from left and Danny Santana.
All continues on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Trevor Plouffe, Twins third baseman, leads off the Minnesota second. 1-0 Blue Jays. He shows bunt. R.A. Dickey with a strike on the outside corner. Trevor's had a good series. 3 for 6, 2 home runs, 4 runs batted in. Home runs have gone to left center and right. Like 1 pitch foul back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. The second inning brought to you by Diamond and Diamond. If you've been injured in an accident, your suffering and expenses could be completely covered. Call Diamond and Diamond Lawyers for a free consultation at number 1-800-567-HURT. Strike 2 pitch. Fouled off right-hand side. And a reminder as well, Blue Jays Anywhere will download the Sportsnet app today for unrivaled news, analysis, and video highlights of Canada's team. And never miss a single pitch with the in-depth live game tracker that's available on iOS and Android devices. Strike 2 pitch. Floater moves outside, backhanded by Tolley.
Good way to describe that pitch. It was literally a floater. It almost looked like R.A. slowed right down and floated it in there. 63 miles per hour.
He's into his motion again. He delivers a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Tolley hangs on to it. Nice job. 1 down.
Designated hitter number 22, Miguel Sano.
RA, as we mentioned to start the broadcast, is ERA 3.13 here in the month of August, coming off of July where it was 6.5. So this is what the Blue Jays are hopeful of down the stretch here, because he's always been a strong finisher.
He certainly has, since he put on a Blue Jays uniform much better after the All-Star break, and he's starting to show it again.
A young Miguel Sano, right-hand hitting DH, takes strike 1. Sano with a lot of power. He'll strike out as well. 2 for 9 in the series with 4 Ks. He pops one into shallow right field. Going back to second baseman Devin Travis. It's over his head. Drops in for a base hit. Bautista picks it up on a couple of hops. He throws it back to Tulowitzki. And returning to first with a bloop hit the other way is Sano.
Shortstop number 11, Jorge Polanco.
This is going to be a tough day for outfielders, infielders, with the glare of so many fans who, even though it's Canada Baseball Day and a lot of red shirts here, there are a lot of white shirts as well.
Yeah, not just the sun overhead. We've always said day games here, especially Jose out in right field, but with all the shirts and people in the stands, a lot of times it can be a line drive off the bat, or it can be a throw from an infielder, perhaps turning a double play.
The switch hitting shortstop, up here batting left-hander. Jorge Polanco takes strike 1. Second inning, 1 on, 1 out. Blue Jays with a quick 1-0 lead. Crowding in at third is Donaldson. Dickey set. The lead at first by Sano. Polanco hits a ground ball weakly to the first base side of the mound, taken by R. Look at second. Decided to go to first anyway. Gets the out. Up to second goes Sano.
Left fielder number 36, Robbie Grossman.
Well, nice job by R.A. coming off that mound quickly towards the first base bag. He gloved it. Immediately looked at second base, but felt like it was going to be too close. I like the play, though. Get the sure out at first base early in the ballgame. The last thing you want to do is try to make a play and everybody be safe.
What R.A. does, too, and we've talked about it often as a pitcher turning infielder, he's able to take a very fast game at the mound and slow it down.
He gets to the ball so quickly, immediately knows what he wants to do, looking for the lead runner, but then makes that sure decision.
Robbie Grossman, another switch hitter, batting left-handed. He takes outside ball one. So here, the Twins have elected so far with their 2 of 3 switch hitters to bat left-handed the more conventional way. Oftentimes we'll see switch hitters bat right-handed against Dickey to try to get an advantage against the right-hander in that knuckleball. Pitch lifted into shallow left field. Coming on Melvin Upton. He's got a pretty good read on it. Sunglasses on. Makes the catch. The inning is over. A single left at second. Bottom of the second we go. Blue Jays 1, Twins nothing. Left-hander Kyle Gibson, born in Greenfield, Indiana. Twins first-round pick back in 2009 out of the University of Missouri. Goes into his windup to face Kevin Pillar. Kevin takes strike one on the outside corner. Kyle made his debut back in 2013. In November of 2011, had Tommy John surgery, as so many pitchers do. Missed the 12th season. The pitch is inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hard to believe how Tommy John became so famous, let alone pitching for 25 years in the major leagues.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Had the first ever surgery on the, then for him, his left elbow, and now it's so commonplace. Pillar fouls one off to the left. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Gibson missed a little time this season, the month of May, with a strained right shoulder. Been a very inconsistent season for Kyle, as it has been for most of the Twins.
So Gibson goes into his windup. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Kevin takes it high. Eddie Rosario has come on to play center field now for the Minnesota Twins. Out there was Danny Santana. There's a foul ball off to the right-hand side. Still 2-2 on Kevin Pillar. There was that collision in left center field, bottom of the first inning. Santana and Grossman. But Grossman will stay in left field, but Santana's gone. The pitch line to right field. Max Kepler's the holdover there. He comes in to make the catch. 1 down, and it looked like Grossman was the one more in pain than Santana, and here Santana leaves.
Well, there you go. You said that neither one of them was coming out of the game after it happened, but we said we'll keep an eye on the situation, and wouldn't you know it, Danny Santana felt the brunt of that collision being replaced here in the second inning.
Jose hit one to the wall in left center, and Grossman and Santana with a big collision. The ball dropped. Jose ended up at second with a double. Melvin Upton takes strike 1 called. Donaldson then fouled a pitch off his back right knee. Ended up flying out deep to right center. Bautista Tag came to third, and then Edwin's fly ball to center brought him in for the game's lone run. We're just in the second inning. Upton takes it outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Upton's had a good series, 3 for 9. The triple yesterday and home on the air to win it 8-7. He scored 4 runs. He hits a ground ball out to second sharply, but right there, Brian Dozier was up the middle. The second baseman throws up and out. 2 down. Mike Wilner has the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard.
And, Jerry, it seems as though, well, a minute ago, this was the only game that had a run scored in it, but the Mets have gotten on the board, home to the Phillies on a side fly by Curtis Granderson. They're up 1-0 in the bottom of the first. The news from New York is that Gary Sanchez hasn't hit a home run yet. It's 0-0 Orioles and Yankees as they go to the bottom of the second.
Devin Travis takes outside.
0-0 Angels and Tigers. They are in the bottom of the second as well. Detroit just a game back of Baltimore for the second wild card in the American League. Padres and Marlins 0-0 bottom of 2.
And the 1-0 pitch line deep left center field. That's heading for the wall. Up, and off the wall. Base hit. Devin on his way to second. Rosario throws it back to third where it's cut. And Travis has a 2-out double.
And lastly, tonight, in a game that can be heard by many along the Sportsnet radio network, it is the Boston Red Sox home to the Kansas City Royals. Eduardo Rodriguez against Giordano Ventura on the air at 7 p.m. Eastern. For all the scores and stats, go to sportsnet.ca.
Thank you, Mike. And Joe, you referred earlier to the top of the order and Devin Travis hitting 8th, and what a plus that is to have that kind of catalyst in the bottom third of the order. We just saw that.
Well, we just saw it, and we saw it a lot last year, too. Kevin Pillar in the 6th hole today, Melvin Upton 7. I just like that hole 6, 7, 8, 9. What they did so well is they had great at-bats and turned that lineup over. Nice job again by Devin Travis.
Blue Jays 1, Twins nothing. Here, second inning. Tolley up here takes outside ball 1. Josh 2 for 4 yesterday, a single and a double. On deck, Bautista, the right-hander Kyle Gibson. Set on the mound, cuts it loose. He's in low, 2-0. Next inning, Scott Crawford will be our guest. He is from the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, does a great job over there at St. Mary's. We'll talk about the induction ceremonies this year. And there's a Hall of Fame display here at the 200 level out in the outfield area you want to take a look at. Scott Crawford, next inning. Josh hits a ground ball, 2-3-4 hops to second. Brian Dozier flipped to first to Joe Mauer, and the inning is over. The double left on. To the third we go with Scott coming up. Blue Jays 1, Twins nothing. You're listening to Home Hard DX, starting from just $44,375. Visit your GTA Acura dealer for details. And in this third inning, Blue Jays with an early 1-0 lead over the Twins. R.A. Dickey to face Kurt Suzuki. Eddie Rosario came on for center fielder Danny Santana. And then the top of the order, Brian Dozier. Suzuki veteran right-handed hitter is Scott Crawford, the director of operations for the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, joins us. R.A.'s first pitch. That's in, strike one called. Scott, we were mentioning that today, out in the outfield area, the 200 level, a Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame exhibit and display.
Yeah, it's a great day for the Hall of Fame and for baseball in Canada. We have all kinds of things on display out there.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, fouled off down the right field side. That's heading for the crowd, and that will go in about 3 rows. What do you have there in case fans are listening right here at the game? They can go over and see it.
Yeah, we have actually the 2016 induction plaques. We brought them off the wall, and they're on display there. And our other unique item is we have the Joe Carter World Series home plate that we put together, the collection I brought here.
Nice. So this is the next plate that will go to the Hall of Fame.
We can't wait to bring this one in.
And R.A.'s strike 2 pitch. Hit on the ground to third, charged by Donaldson. He has it, takes his time, throws it to first high, taken by Edwin, jumps, tags the runner going by Suzuki to get him. 1 down. And let's pause right here. Those are always dangerous throws, Joe, where a first baseman can get into harm's way.
Well, Josh has continued to work on his throwing. He fielded this ball cleanly, gathered, set his feet, but he just came a little quick with his body, forcing Edwin to his left, and it's dangerous because you reach as a first baseman with that left wrist, and you want to make sure when you tag that runner, you allow your body to keep going so that that wrist does not get cocked and loaded inside that runner. Very dangerous play for the first baseman.
Eddie Rosario up. He hits the first pitch into right field. That's a base hit. Well, he comes off the bench, as so often happens. And here for an injured player, Danny Santana, and lines one to right field. Rosario yesterday hit 5th in Paul Molitor's lineup, and he went 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored. Scott Crawford is with us. You talked about those induction plaques. Pat Henkin, Howie Starkman, our great friend here for years, Tony Kubek, Dennis Martinez, El Presidente, Wayne Norton, a great friend out in Vancouver, British Columbia, and the late William Shuttleworth. Those are some pretty impressive plaques and names.
It was. It was one of our biggest and best classes ever. You got famous pitchers, you got players, you have the executive, you have the scout, and the pioneer. So it was a fantastic weekend.
Brian Dozier takes ball 1. How long have you been the director of operations?
I've been there since January 2000, so I'm a 17th year. So it's you say it's old, but everything's new each year. It's great.
Well, everybody there does such a terrific job in the beautiful little city of St. Mary's. 1-0 Blue Jays here in the Twins' third inning. Quick throw to first, and stepping back in is Rosario, and he just beat the tag.
R.A.'s got a very quick move over to first base. He will keep runners tight. Rosario looking like he may have been flinching right there, but that's one thing R.A. does so well. You're not going to have too many successful stolen base attempts with him on the mound.
Rosario has stolen 4 bases, but he's been caught 4 times. Dozier up here fouled out to first to begin the game. Dickey settles the glove at the chest. And the pitch. That's a bit low. 2 balls and no strikes. today had a great visit with Pat Gillick before the game, and he threw out the ceremonial first pitch, and I know he's been such a great help for you too, and in that Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. He
is. He's one of our great inductees from 1997, and he was actually at the ceremony this year, of course, being great friends with Wayne Norton and Pat Henkin and Howie Starkman, of course. So it was great to see him again back in St. Mary's.
He got that pitch up there pretty good to Roberto Alomar.
He did. He was a pitcher in his day, so he could still throw it.
The left-hander, Pat Gillick. Dickey set. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Inside, ball 3.
Now, Scott, there's baseball still played on the grounds in St. Mary's. What types of teams, how many fields did you have on the go?
Well, we have 4 fields at the Hall of Fame, but 1 full field and 3 smaller fields, and they're still going crazy. We go 7 days a week on all 4 of those fields, and they've booked into the fall all kinds of these elite baseball teams, as well as anyone just from regular slow pitch teams to anyone that wants to come to St. Mary's for the day.
And is it a challenge for you maintaining those fields, keeping them up for all these groups?
Yeah, it is. It's a constant thing. We want to have some of the best fields in Canada. Labatt Park, of course, in London is fantastic, and we want to be just as good as they are down there.
Dozier takes a strike, so it's 3-1 on Bryan. 1 on, 1 out, 3rd inning. 1-0 Blue Jays. Trying to sweep the Twins as they head to Cleveland. Blue Jays off to Baltimore. Dickey's pitch grounded to 3rd. Donaldson has it. Go to 2nd with a low throw, and it hits off the chest of Devin Travis. Everybody safe. And now you have to wonder if getting fouled with that foul ball off his right knee back in the 1st inning has affected Donaldson with his throws here a couple innings later.
Well, you do, because even the ball that he threw to Edwin, he fielded it and had plenty of time. This time he had to rush a little bit to try to get the lead runner on the force out at second base. It's his right knee, which is his back knee throwing. So when somebody throws a baseball, you're leaning your weight on your backside before you transfer it forward. Certainly Josh could be feeling it.
They'll put Dozier at first on a fielder's choice. To 2nd on the error is Rosario. And Dickey looking for another ground ball opportunity here. Joe Mauer up. Left-handed hitter and a good one. 3-time batting champion. He takes strike 1 called. Scott Crawford is with us, Director of Operations of the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. And the museum in St. Mary's open until Thanksgiving.
That's right. We're open 4 days a week come September, Thursday through Sunday. So you still have time to come out and enjoy the Hall of Fame and our 32 acres of land in St. Mary's.
Rosario bounces off second. Dickey looks right at him. Now delivers. It's in the dirt. Nice stop by Tolley. And then after Thanksgiving, how can fans come to St. Mary's and see the Hall of Fame?
Basically, we just have to give us a call. Call us or send us an email, and we'll be glad to meet your group at the Hall of Fame and show you around. It's beautiful there in the fall with our 32-acre site and the trees and the nature, and it's a great place to spend the day.
And I take it you live right there.
I do. It's a fantastic little town.
Dickey set. 1-1 pitch to Mauer. Low ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike.
What are some of the highlights, Scott, for people that do come and tour? Do you have any even things that maybe are special for you?
Yeah, I like the there's 2 different things. One is the current Canadian display, with all the great Canadians in the game today, from the guys who play for Blue Jays, of course, Martin and Saunders, to Joey Votto in Cincinnati having another fantastic year. And we always be able to upgrade that display with the teams that are really good to us and allow us to get more artifacts.
Mauer takes a strike, 2-2. Well, it's a big part of Canadian baseball, no question about it, and so many great inductees, including my late partner, Tom Cheek.
Yeah, Tom was one of the greatest, as we all know, fan favorite.
Rosario at second, Dozier at first, 1 out, and the Dickey 2-2 pitch is high, ball 3. R.A. has thrown 33 pitches, only 9 balls, 24 strikes.
Well, that's what happens sometimes. You don't get a couple plays made behind you, and he's got himself in all kinds of trouble right here. Still looking for that elusive ground ball here. Mauer can be a good double play candidate if he can get one on the ground.
And the runners lead. Now Dickey looked at second twice, now steps off the rubber. Dickey's quite a sight. He's got his bright red hat on, bright red shirt, white pants, red socks up to his knees, and bright blue shoes.
Fashion statement today.
Sartorial splendor at his best. 3-2 pitch to Mauer. High, ball 4. The bases are loaded for Max Kepler. Well, Scott Crawford, thanks for coming by, and we invite everybody to go over to St. Mary's to the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. But today, if you're here, go to the 200 level outfield area and take in those induction plaques and what you represent.
Well, thank you very much for having me on, Jerry. It's been a great day.
You are welcome. Scott Crawford from the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. Eddie Rosario at third. Brian Dozier at second. Joe Mauer at first. 1 out. Here's Kepler. He struck out. first time up. He hits a ground ball off the leg of Dickey. It ricochets to second. Travis backhand toss to Tulo. Back to first. Not in time. Coming in to score, Rosario to tie the game at 1, and that was almost one of the most spectacular double plays you're going to see.
Well, that ball was hit hard right back at the man. It looked like it got Dickey in his foot, but he deflected right to Devon Travis, not right at him. Devon still had to come back to his left just a hair, but by the time he flipped to Tulo, nice turn by Troy at the second base bag, but that throw just a little bit too late to get to Speedy Kepler.
2 down. Plouffe comes up here. Struck out back in the second inning. Got his foot down on the bag. Good call at first base by the crew chief, umpire Marvin Hudson. Right-hander against right-hander. Twins at first and third here in the third inning. Dickey's pitch moves inside and backhanded by Tolley as that pitch was darting to his left, and that was a tough catch, and there's a runner at third base. That saved a run right there.
That's that pitch that can just take off on you, especially the knuckleball with the very late movement. Glove side for a catcher. Toughest pitch to handle anyway, but especially from R.A.
A throw to first, diving back in is Kepler. Dozier at third. Kepler at first. It was Maurer. He raced at second base. Third inning of a 1-1 game now. The Dickey pitch. Loop foul off to the right-hand side, back into the crowd. 1 ball and 1 strike. Blue Jays with their first 2 wins here now guaranteed that they have won 7 of the last 9 series, and they always talk in baseball terms, win a series. If you sweep it, great, but win a series, and the Blue Jays are 7 of 9 now.
That's very successful, and you get a little greedy right now going for the sweep today.
The 1-1 pitch. Hit on the ground weak for the second. Devon Travis charges, has it, unloads his throw to first in time to get Plouffe, and the inning is over. The Twins get a run. It's an unearned run on the throwing error by Josh Donaldson. You don't see that from Josh Verano. Blue Jays and Twins tied at 1. Jose Bautista against 6'6" right-hander Kyle Gibson, who misses outside ball 1. Bautista in the bottom of the first inning, after R.A. had a quick 1-2-3 top of the first, hit a fly ball to left center field right at the wall on a massive collision by left fielder Robbie Grossman and center fielder Danny Santana. Ground ball foul outside of third. 1 ball and 1 strike. The ball was jarred out of the glove of Grossman, fell to the track, a double for Jose. Left shoulder joint sprain for Danny Santana. That's the word on that collision.
It was a pretty good collision. Robbie Grossman, the left fielder, looked like he was going to be the one to catch the baseball, but he went straight back initially. Then he went over towards the gap, and that's when Danny Santana arrived.
A foul off to the left.
And it looked like both of their upper bodies collided pretty hard, so it sounds like a shoulder injury to Santana.
That put Bautista aboard. Donaldson flied out to right center after fouling a pitch right off his right knee. And then Edwin sacrificed fly cashed in the run. Twins just got it back in the top of this third, and we're in the bottom half. 1-2 pitch. Popped up. Up it goes at the plate. Turning. The catcher, Suzuki, tosses the mask in foul ground right behind the plate. He makes the catch. 1 down. Be sure and get your 2017 season ticket memberships now and have the opportunity to purchase 2016 postseason tickets in a limited time offer while supplies last. Season ticket member benefits include access to season ticket member exclusive events and enrollment in the My Blue Jays member program. Visit BlueJays.com/season tickets. 1 gone for Donaldson. Gibson to his hitter. A strike on the outside corner. Blue Jays come in here. 17 games over the 500 mark. Donaldson rips one deep left field. Yes, sir. Let's admire that one. There she goes into the 200 level. Number 31 for Josh Donaldson, a 7-game hitting streak and a Blue Jays 2-1 lead over the Twins.
First baseman, number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
Well, we've seen it all series. The Angels did it, and now the Twins are doing it. They continue to try to pound these right-handers inside, but it looked like Josh, even though he was behind in the count right there, may have looked in there, and he kept his hands inside the baseball, no doubter.
Edwin fouls one off to the right, strike one.
It's a good pitch to a right-handed batter if you're mixing in the slider. I thought Santana did a good job of it yesterday, but Kyle Gibson not having that kind of success on a pitch when you've got a hitter like that looking for it.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Edwin. It's outside. Mike Shaw has stopped by, the Blue Jays director of team travel, and your next play-by-play broadcaster sometime. He's working on it. Edwin drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Pitch hit on the ground, foul outside of third. Blue Jays, as we mentioned, 17 games over the 500 mark, trying to make it a season high 18 games over. Blue Jays have gone 6-4 over the last 10, and not once but twice they've overcome 5-run deficits. The pitch is inside. That happened yesterday, and that's the mark of this club now with its offense. This is what last year's club did. No deficit is too great.
Oh, no kidding, especially with that quick strike capability with the long ball, and they certainly can do that all throughout their lineup.
Donaldson with 6 RBIs here this weekend. The 2-2 pitch is low, ball 3. Josh had a big 2-run single yesterday. That was huge in getting the Blue Jays back in the game. They were down 7-3. Donaldson with a 2-run home run, his 30th. That was back on Friday night, helping the club win 15-8. And he'd homered the day before that against the Angels. The pitch is outside, ball 4, so Edwin draws a walk. Donaldson has homered in 3 of the last 4 games. And that's with a bad right knee that he fouled the pitch on here today in the first inning. This is what makes Donaldson so special. I think the one area that fans cannot appreciate, well, 2. 1, how close the hitter is to the pitcher on the mound. Fans think from a distance you have forever to react to a pitch. That's not true. But second of all, the pain that goes in this game, no matter where it comes from, and then to play through it and do what Donaldson does game in and game out.
Game in and game out for me is the key. It is a very long season. Josh talked about that in the beginning of the year. Talked about 5-tool players. He talks about 6-tool players.
Martin takes strike 1.
And for Josh, that 6th tool is being on the field for your team. You cannot be an MVP of a league playing part-time or if you're on the disabled list a lot. So Josh is counted on heavily by his club, and he is out there almost every single day.
Russ walked in the first inning. We're in the third. Blue Jays with a 2-1 lead. Gibson's pitch hit on the ground to short. Could be 2. Fielded by Polanco. Go to second 1. Dozier back to first for the double play. And the inning is over. But Donaldson says, okay, my bad on the throwing error. Gave him an unearned run. I'll get it right back. And he does with his 31st home run. We go to the 4th. Blue Jays 2, Twins 1. You're listening to 4th inning. Blue Jays 2, Twins 1. R.A. Dickey to face Miguel Sano. Right-handed hitting. Second-year player and a good one. DHing here today, takes ball 1. And the next pitch moves on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sano is 6'4", 260. He should be playing for the Vikings, not the Twins. Got
big
that
man.
Big body. It's a high fly ball, golfed it into the air into shallow center. Devin Travis goes back. He's telling Kevin Pillar, I've got it, and he does. 1 down. Our Home Run Leaders Update is brought to you by Home Run Sports. Pick up your Mizuno equipment at Home Run Sports, locations in Mississauga, London, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Edmonton. Home Run Sports, locally owned with over 25 years of experience. So for info on all of your favorite Mizuno products, slide into homerunsports.com. Josh Donaldson with home run number 31 just moments ago for the Blue Jays 2-1 lead here in the Twins' 4th. Jorge Polanco takes strike 1 called. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights, join us for Major League Baseball's post-All-Star Game Home Run Derby. Wade Miley against Marco Estrada. They'll try to quiet the bats, but when you look at it, regarding home run leaders, first of all, Mark Trumbo with the Orioles has 39. That leads the major leagues. Edwin is second with 36. Pitch on the way. A strike on the outside corner, 1 and 2. Josh now is 5th with 31. And do we mention Chris Davis with the Orioles? He has 32. And they're all going to be front and center at Camden Yards Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. 1-2 pitches outside. That's going to be a treat.
Manny Machado with 31. This is just going to be a tough series for pitchers. But, as soon as we talk like that, probably be a 2-1 game Monday night.
Good pitching always stops good hitting. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Ara's strikeout here gives him 3 this afternoon. And really, Joe, that's what we're talking about, too, and why the Blue Jays have the separation with the Baltimore Orioles, and the Orioles, it's almost not that it's last call, but it's getting close to that because the Blue Jays' pitching is better than the Orioles.
It has been that way. Chris Tillman on the disabled list. He is the staff ace for the Orioles. That's going to hurt them, and certainly have not gotten the production they've wanted to see out of free agent Giovanni Gallardo.
Robbie Grossman up batting left-handed. The switch hitter takes strike 1.
And it's been the strength of the Blue Jays club. The starting rotation has been absolutely fantastic all season long, and they're going to just try to continue for one more strong month here before a postseason run.
Dickey's low and inside, 1-1. And speaking of home runs, Chris Bryant, who was the Rookie of the Year last year for the Cubs, he leads the National League with 35 home runs. He's driven in 89. That's 3rd in the league. Little ground ball out in front of the plate. Totally barehands it. The catcher whips it to first high, but speared over his red cap by Edwin, and the inning is over. Bottom of the 4th we go. Blue Jays 2, Twins 1. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays Baseball. Kyle Gibson to face Troy Tulowitzki, Kevin Pillar, and Melvin Upton. Tulo lines the first pitch to center field. Stalking it, Eddie Rosario. He makes a catch at the chest. 1 pitch, 1 out. MLB.TV Premium's the #1 live streaming sports service, delivering everything you've come to expect. So watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 supported devices. That includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Pillar up. Kevin flied out to right. First time up. We're in the 4th inning. Blue Jays runs in the 1st and 3rd innings, while setting the Twins run in the 3rd. There's a strike called. Jose Bautista opened the game with a double to left center as 2 outfielders collided. Grossman in left, Santana in center. Ball dropped. And Bautista would later score on a sacrifice fly from 3rd off the bat of Edwin Encarnacion. The pitch is outside. In between, Donaldson rocked one deep right center field. That got Bautista over to 3rd and set up the run. Twins an unearned run in the 3rd. Donaldson's throwing error on a double play possibility bounced to second base. The pitch fouled off third base side. So the Twins scored the unearned run to tie it, and then Josh said, okay, my bad. And then he said, my good, and he hit a home run into the 200 level down the left field line in the bottom of the 3rd. It's 31st, and it's 2-1 here in the 4th.
Well, I talked about that right knee of Donaldson maybe affecting a couple of his throws that inning, but apparently he's okay because he certainly looked healthy at the plate.
1-2 pitch. That's low. Interesting, here's R.A. Dickey. He's gone 4 innings. He's allowed 1 unearned run. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays' 6-man rotation in the month of August. Very rarely does a major league club go to a 6-man rotation, and with all the off days as well. Pillar lines one over short. That's into left field for a base hit, and it gets by Robbie Grossman. The ball kicks into left center. He misplays it into a base hit and an error as Pillar goes to second base. And the Blue Jays will take that and have a runner in scoring position on a ball hit right to Grossman. He came in and just fumbled it as it hit in front of him off the turf.
Well, yet another error by the Minnesota Twins, and we'll see if the Blue Jays cannot capitalize on this one. Pillar hit the ball very hard over the shortstop Polanco's head into left field. Grossman had no reason to misplay that ball or charge it or rush or hurry in any way, but he just clanked it off the heel of his glove and it ricocheted into the gap, allowing Kevin to advance the extra 90 feet.
A 2-1 game as it is. Blue Jays 4th inning. Runner at second, Melvin Upton, a swing and a miss, strike one. Before we get to the 6-man rotation for Minnesota and Paul Molitor, the Twins' 100th error this year,
leading the American League.
And even though Donaldson committed a miscue in the 3rd, the Blue Jays have committed just 66. 4th in the league in fielding percentage behind the Astros, Tigers, and Orioles. From the stretch, the pitch lifted into center field. Out goes the second baseman, sprinting out. Brian Dozier gives way to the oncoming center fielder. Rosario makes the catch. 2 down. Pillar holds his ground at second base. In August, Marcus Stroman this month has an ERA of 3.13, and so does R.A. Dickey. So in the six-man rotation, those two have really stepped forward. The young Stroman and the 41-year-old Dickey. Next up is Jay Happ. His ERA is pretty good, too. And he'll go for his 18th win in his next start. That's in Baltimore on Tuesday. His ERA is 3.33. Francisco Liriano's ERA is under 4 in that six-man rotation at 3.97. Then there's Aaron Sanchez at 5.29 and Marco Estrada at 6. And Devin Travis takes strike one called. The irony is it's Sanchez who has the ERA at 5.29, and that's the one that they're trying to help get through to the playoffs as a starter. And Marco Estrada has really, for whatever reason, back problems or the 6 and 7 days off between starts has not been the same Marco Estrada.
Yeah, tough start for Aaron Sanchez in Cleveland against the Indians.
The pitch is low.
He lasted just 4 innings and giving up those 4 earned runs. It was a tough inning for him. He was 1 pitch away from getting out of there, and if he makes that pitch, it's a Blue Jays lead, and he escapes and probably goes a little bit deeper in that ball game. But it'll be very interesting to see the way they continue to evolve here. And now Estrada and Happ and Sanchez will be working on their regular rest, while Estrada and Happ will be in Baltimore Monday and Tuesday.
Devin grips a ground ball to third base, taken by Plouffe. A long one bounce throw to first, just in time, and the inning is over. So Pilar is left on, and at the end of 4 with Mike Wilner to call the 5th and 6th innings. Blue Jays 2, Twins 1. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Don't miss a game.
Has that knuckleball going. 49 pitches so far to get the first 12 outs, and he's facing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Here in the 5th, Kurt Suzuki will lead things off. And he takes the first pitch strike. Suzuki led off the 3rd inning with a ground ball to 3rd. Josh Donaldson's wild throw was hauled in by Edwin Encarnacion for the first out. But it was Donaldson's poor throw to second later in the inning that ultimately led to Minnesota's run. 0-1 pitch is fouled away. With Eddie Rosario on first, Brian Dozier hit a ground ball to Donaldson, and he had to make a very quick throw to second because the runner was going. He bounced it, and Devin Travis couldn't come up with it. The Blue Jays couldn't get even 1 out, never mind turning 2. 0-2 is popped up, second base. Devin Travis is there, goes back, makes a catch and drops the ball. He dropped the ball and out is called. Wow, and I think that might be challengeable. There was a lot of white there in Devin Travis' glove. It looked like he just plain dropped the ball. The first base umpire, Marvin Hudson, the crew chief, called it an out. Paul Molitor is saying, hold on a second.
Oh.
I don't think that was on the transfer.
No, I think they totally want to hold on. Devin went at it very casually, but he never had possession of this baseball. And I have got to believe the way he dropped it. But then you know what, Mike? He got it before it touched the ground.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Wow, as we see the replay here, it went into the palm of his glove. Molitor's still asking them to wait. And he squeezed it, and it popped out, and he fumbled for it with his bare hand and wound up making the catch. That's an amazing play by Devin Travis.
Nice recovery.
That is what you refer to as concentration. So here's Eddie Rosario, left-handed batter, did not start this game, and he takes the first pitch knuckleball for a strike. Rosario came in the bottom of the second inning. Danny Santana had to leave with an AC joint sprain in his left shoulder. There's a swing and a foul back, 0-2. Santana and Robbie Grossman colliding. The very first play of the game in the bottom of the first, Jose Bautista wound up being a double to left center. 0-2 pitch is away. And you could see Santana sort of grabbing at his left shoulder in the outfield a whole bunch. Saw Grossman bending over, and it looked like his hip was hurt as well, but he's managed to stay in this game. One-two pitch is popped foul. It's going to get out of play over the Blue Jays dugout. And a nice grab as 3 fans went up for it. It bounced off the hands of one and directly to a guy sitting 2 rows in front of them.
That's an easy one.
That was moving. Good reaction by the guy sitting beside the guy with the Marcus Stroman shirt on. 1-2 pitch hit out into center field, dropping quickly, and Kevin Pillar's not going to be able to get to that one. falls in front of him for a base hit. Big turn by Rosario. But he'll head back to first, 2 for 2, with 2 of the 3 Twins hits today. And neither one of them, well, that's not fair. The first one was hit hard to right field. That one not hit especially hard. I still want to see another replay of that Devin Travis catch.
He went, he did go after it rather casual. I thought maybe the sun was playing games with it, and it may have been, but he just caught it in the palm of his hand, and as it dropped, he got down quickly in a combination of his bare hand and his glove. He was able to save it before it hit the turf.
The leadoff man and the Twins home run leader, Brian Dozier, takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Runner at first, 1 out. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Blue Jays leading the Twins 2-1 on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Throw over to first to check on Rosario, who can run. This is the last game of the homestand. The Jays are currently 3-2. Only 2 more homestands in the regular season. 13 more home games for the Blue Jays after today. Goes by so quickly. 1-0 pitch gets away from Tolle and rebounds into the Twins on deck circle. To second will go Eddie Rosario. And we'll wait for the official score to tell us whether that was a wild pitch or a pass ball. Tolle, and they call it a wild pitch. That was pretty much in the left-handed batter's box.
This ball just took off to Josh's left. He tried to backhand, and I've said it many times, the difficulty catching a knuckleballer is you really don't have the time to get down to your knees in a blocking position to block that baseball. Josh just has to go to his backhand with the mitt and is unable to come up with it.
2-0 pitches outside. Ball 3, 3-0. Deoner Navarro will join the Blue Jays tomorrow in Baltimore. And the Jays will have to make a roster move in order to make room for him. The likeliest move is that Josh Tolle will be released. And then the Jays will attempt to re-sign him before R.A. Dickey's next start. That pitch is away, ball 4. Dickey's second walk. And it puts the Twins with runners at first and second and 1 out in a 1-run game here in the 5th. As Joe Mauer comes to the plate, we'll remind you, you can catch Tim and Sid weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern on Sportsnet. And you can also join the sports conversation online at Tim and Sid on the Twitter. Joe Mauer, former MVP. That was as a catcher, now a first baseman. Takes the first pitch from Dickey up and away. That was a fastball, just trying to get back in the strike zone.
R.A. will mix the fastball in on occasion. We'll see him throw 8 or 10 of them in a ball game.
Checks his runners. Very good at holding runners. Creeping off the bag is Rosario, and Dickey misses with a knuckleball outside. Ball 2 and ball 6. 2-1 Blue Jays. But the Twins are threatening here in the top of the 5th with 2 on and 1 out. Dickey looking for the ground ball that'll get him out of it. He's on the outside corner with a fastball strike, 2-1.
Came back with a fastball, and I understand R.A.'s thinking there. He's trying to spot a 2-0 fastball on the outside corner, and that's exactly what he did. But we've seen that dangerous fastball far too often, and hitters have gotten some damage done against R.A.'s fastball. He has to locate it. He did that time.
He's set here. The 2-1 pitch. There again and again with a fastball. It's 2-2. And R.A. has thrown 3 fastballs and 4 pitches in this at-bat to Joe Mauer. Speed on the bases in Rosario and Dozier. Mauer at the plate looking for the flutter ball that he hasn't been getting. 2-2 pitch, there it is, and it misses outside, and the count is full. And Joe, a couple of the last 3 or 4 pitches, Rosario has taken a healthy lead and even kind of fainted towards third base, with Dickey not having looked.
He did not even look. Oftentimes pitchers will just come set. I'm sure he'll give him a look now, as he does right now as we're speaking, but then he does not look. Now he does the inside move. Some pitchers will do that, and that's one way of upsetting the timing of the runner, not to be consistent with your coming up, 1 look, go to the plate. Coming up, hold 1 look, go to the plate. So you want to mix it up, but no looking is dangerous with a guy like Rosario back there.
His lead is shortened now, and now it's widened, and there he goes. 3-2 pitches fouled away. Rosario took off, and as soon as Dozier saw that, he went too. Mauer fouled the ball off, and the count remains full. Danny Santana leads the Twins in stolen bases with 12. He's out of the game. Next up is Brian Dozier with 11. Eduardo Nunez had a ton for them before he got traded to the Giants at the deadline. Count is full again. Runners go again. The pitch is outside again. And it's another walk, and it loads the bases with one out for Max Kepler. Nothing doing in the Blue Jays bullpen. Pete Walker staying in the dugout here. Dickey has walked 2 in a row, and it's going to be up to him to figure out how to fix that knuckleball.
Well, Ari's going to have to go after Kepler now. Now there's nowhere to put him, and it looked like the last 2 hitters, both Dozier and Mauer, 2 very good hitters. Ari was almost pitching away from contact, and he ended up paying by issuing 2 walks.
First pitch to Kepler is right down the middle, taken for a strike 0-1. And wouldn't Kepler want to make up for yesterday in a spot like this?
I do believe R.A. can control working the middle of the plate or the corners. He was working more the corners against Dozier and Mauer. He's got to get on the plate now.
0-1, swung on and missed. Knuckleball that just died at the plate, went straight in the dirt, and it's 0-2. R.A. has decided very clearly that he's going after the kid. Two-1 Blue Jays, but the Twins have the bases loaded with 1 out here in the 5th. 0-2 pitch. Knuckler outside. Tolley could not bring it in. As best he tried, it's ball 1.
Josh tried as much as he could, but at the same time, he's got to make sure he's out there to catch the ball. And that's the first thing he did. I think almost in his effort to catch the baseball cleanly, that's when he brought it back. So tricky with a runner on third.
1-2 pitch is chopped high off the plate. Dickey's only got 1 play. It's at first base. He gets Kepler, but the tying run scores. The Twins knotted it up with the Blue Jays. 2-2 here in the 5th. The runners move up to second and third.
Third baseman number 24, Trevor Plouffe.
Well, unfortunately, no play for R.A. Dickey at the plate. This ball was bounced. It looked like right in front of home plate, and it went high in the air. So the runner easily scores from third, and his only play is to get the out at first as the other runners move up.
Dickey looked home, but by the time he caught the baseball, Rosario was about 2 steps away from the plate. So he threw to first. And now Trevor Plouffe comes up with runners at second and third. And Plouffe takes a first pitch knuckleball inside for ball 1. Dozier took a big turn around third, almost daring Edwin Encarnacion to make a throw, but Edwin just ran right at him a few steps and he turned back. There's a pitch that misses low. Ball 2, 2-0. Dickey has given up a bloop single and 2 walks in this inning. And it's those walks that tend to get you. A walk in the third was a part of a Twins rally as well. There's a knuckleball for a strike on the outside corner, 2-1. 2-2 Jays and Twins. But Minnesota threatening here in the top of the 5th. They've got second and third with 2 out and their cleanup man Trevor Plouffe at the plate. 2-1 pitch is hit into left field. That's a base hit. On it quickly is Upton, and he'll fire it in. So Mauer holds at third, but in to score is Brian Dozier. And Plouffe gives the Twins the lead. They're up 3-2.
Designated hitter number 22, Miguel Sano.
Well, the veteran Trevor Plouffe got ahead in the count. He did not like the 2-0 call out on the outside part of the plate, but this one had a lot of plate right over the middle, and he got the bat head out and drilled this ball into left. Hit it so hard that Joe Mauer could only move up the 90 feet to third base, being held.
Miguel Sano, the power plant DH, takes the first pitch off the glove of Tolley. It's not enough to get Mauer home, but going to second will beat Trevor Plouffe on the pass ball. So the Twins making the Blue Jays' lives a little more difficult. You have no force at second now, and a single has a chance to score a pair. Really does seem, Joe, like every time a team has a rally, a walk is a part of it.
Doesn't it, though? A couple this inning by RA. Certainly come back to haunt him.
1-0 swung on and missed. 1-1.
And that goes for any pitcher, any traditional pitcher even, but with RA, it's so difficult. It really looked to me like he was almost pitching around Dozier and Mauer because he did not want them to beat him. But then he got Max Kepler, and it's Trevor Plouffe that gets him out with the big 2-out hit.
And there's a pitch driven foul, left field side, hit hard and deep, but into the stands, foul. 1-2 as we see action in the Blue Jays bullpen. Bo Schultz is up and throwing. Schultz pitched the 7th inning yesterday. The 1-2 pitch swung on and foul back. Dickey had 49 pitches coming into the inning. He has thrown 31 here in this top of the 5th. Run into trouble with a couple of walks. Hasn't been able to harness that capricious knuckleball. The 1-2 pitch to Sano. Swung on and lined into center field. That's a base hit. In to score is Mauer. Right behind him is Plouffe. And Miguel Sano with a big blow here. The Twins lead up to 5-2. Dickey, who had been sailing along into this 5th inning, giving up a run on 2 hits. There will often be bumps in the road in an RA start, and this is certainly it. A 4-run 5th for the Twins. It's not over yet. Here's Jorge Polanco. First pitch swinging, he fouls it into the seats. It's 0-1.
Well, some good approaches. The last 2 hitters, both Trevor Plouffe with his RBI single to left, and now Miguel Sano with his 2-run single, really staying back and letting that knuckleball travel, get deep in their stances, trying not to get caught out front. Both putting good swings on RA's knuckleballs.
0-1 pitch is popped up. Back is shortstop. Tulowitzki turns his back. Now he's under it, and he makes the catch. And the inning is over. But a long inning that included a couple of walks and a couple of big 2-out hits. Bottom of the 5th, Blue Jays with work to do against Kyle Gibson. They're down 5-2 to the Twins. And Josh Thole takes strike 1 to lead this inning off. We invite you to tune in after the game for the accurate play of the game. A 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Thole in an 0-2 hole. Blue Jays in a 5-2 hole as the Twins just scored 4 runs off of R.A. Dickey in the top of the 5th. Big 2-out hits from Trevor Plouffe and Miguel Sano. Pitch is in the dirt, taken for ball 1. Mike Wilner, Joe Siddall, Jerry Howarth here with you, along with our on-site engineer and producer, the great Tom Young. Viken Paladian under his tutelage here as well, with Ryan Clark and Sudden Sam McKee back at our flagship station, Sportsnet 590 The Fan. 1-2 pitch hit on the ground and stabbed by Gibson as it's going by. He'll flip to first. 1 away. Joe, the Jays were down 5-0 yesterday. They came back and won. This team has that quick strike possibility. We've talked about it a lot. But it is tough when you consistently are playing from behind.
It is. It's not something you want to do consistently because it can happen on occasion. It's not going to happen every time. And that's really what we've seen from R.A. Dickey today. It's that one inning that can get him. He was really cruising through 4 innings, allowing just the one unearned run, but he can always have that one bad inning to put his team behind now.
Pitch to Jose Bautista is taken for a strike on the outside corner, and it does seem as though it gets away from him for 1 inning every game. Sometimes he's able to corral it and only give up a run or none or escape. Today, not so much. 0-1, swung on and missed 0-2.
And it started with the bloop single by Rosario, but then the couple of walks, top of the order, Dozier and Mauer. And it seems like now's the time you have to bear down and get him. He got Kepler to bounce out. Yes, it was an RBI to tie the ball game up, but that's when the hard hit balls came off the bats of Plouffe and Sano.
0-2 pitch is low. Ball 1, 1-2.
And now with the Blue Jays down 3, it's going to be up to RA to go back there and hold down the fort. You've got to keep this a 3-run game, or whether it's RA or the bullpen that comes in. Once that lead gets to 4 and 5 and 6, those are the tough ones to overcome.
Yesterday they overcame 5. 1-2 to Bautista is low, 2-2. Jose doubled to start this game, or at least to start the bottom of the first inning. A fly ball to deep left field on which Robbie Grossman and Danny Santana collided, and Santana had to come out of the game an inning later with an AC joint sprain in his left shoulder. 2-2 to Bautista, hit hard on the ground, up the middle for a base hit. Past the diving Jorge Polanco. Jose's got his second hit. And Josh Donaldson, who homered in his last trip, will come to the plate.
And the other thing the Blue Jays have going for them is the simple fact that this Twins pitching staff has absolutely scuffled, especially a starting rotation. It's been a mess for Paul Molitor, so they got to continue to try to get at Kyle Gibson because he is a guy that they can certainly get to. This game is far from over with the Blue Jays offense and the Twins pitching staff.
Yeah, and that bullpen has been, to put it kindly, a bit of a dumpster fire this weekend. First pitch to Donaldson is a strike, 0-1. The Twins bullpen gave up 2 runs yesterday, but also 3 inherited runners of Irvin Santana's, and gave up 9 runs Friday night. Bautista takes his lead. Can't imagine that he's a threat to run with the knee. Pitch to Donaldson is low, ball 1, 1-1. We'll take a look at the St. Louis Barn Grill out-of-town scoreboard, and Gary Sanchez still has not hit a home run. The Yankees DH is only 1 for 2 with a single. It's 0-0 Orioles and Yankees. In the bottom of the 5th, the Orioles are trying not to get swept. One to Josh, hit in the air but foul left field side into the seats. Angels lead the Tigers 2-0 in the top of the 5th inning on a 2-run homer by Jeffrey Marte off of Anibal Sanchez. And the Angels are proving pesky not just for the Blue Jays. The Tigers are a game out of a playoff spot right now. 0-0 Seattle and the White Sox in the bottom of the 2nd. Rays lead the Astros 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. As Donaldson takes that pitch low. It's ball 2, 2-2. Tonight on the St. Louis Barn Grill out-of-town scoreboard, it's the Royals and Red Sox wrapping up their series at Fenway. Royals got beat last night, so they have won 10 of 12. Eduardo Rodriguez and Yordano Ventura. 2-2 pitch is low, and the count is full. For all the scores and stats, go to sportsnet.ca. Bautista's at first. He singled up the middle. There's 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 5th, and the Jays are down 5-2. Hits are even at 5 apiece. Full count pitch, bounces to the plate. Donaldson's got a walk. And now it's Jose Bautista with a bad knee at second base, and Josh Donaldson with a bad knee at first, and Edwin Encarnacion at the plate.
Well, if it's up to Edwin, perhaps Edwin can have them jog around the bases. Another good plate appearance by the Blue Jays, and this is what happens against these veterans at the top of the Blue Jays lineup against a young pitcher that's struggling with his secondary pitch. He's gone to the slider, he's gone to the changeup, but if you cannot throw your secondary pitches for strikes, these hitters sit on the fastballs. Josh Donaldson absolutely drilled the ball foul throughout that plate appearance, and the reason he did is because he was looking in there, much like he did on his home run, for the fastball, but because it's in so much, it's hard to keep that ball fair. But Kyle Gibson is going to have to get these off-speed pitches over for strikes, so they're going to be teeing off on the heater again.
Edwin is 0 for 0. He has walked and hit a sacrifice fly. Blue Jays are down 3. He's the tying run here in the 5th. First pitch to him, a fastball that probably caught the bottom of the zone, but not good enough for James Hoy. Ball 1. And this is the meat grinder for any pitcher to go through this Blue Jays lineup. Bautista's at second, Donaldson at first. Gibson set the 1-0. Low ball 2. And this is why I know you, and I do too, love these 3 guys at the top of the order.
I do. It doesn't just matter in the first inning when a pitcher comes out of that bullpen warming up to come out onto the mound and he's got the names Bautista, Donaldson, and Encarnacion. I love every time the lineup turns over that's what the pitcher has to deal with.
He got him right away. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled, third base side. Edwin got one he wanted, but couldn't keep it fair, and it's 2-1.
You get into a good hitter's count, and again, Gibson struggling with the off-speed pitches. So Edwin sits 2-0 fastball. He's looking in, and he gets it. Unfortunately for Edwin, he expands that zone just a bit. The ball was in too far, but he got a pretty good, healthy swing at it.
Gibson checks Bautista at second. He's not going anywhere. The pitch is low again, and it's ball 3. Russell Martin waits on deck.
Gibson does have that good two-seam fastball, which is a good weapon. He gets a lot of ground balls. Certainly looking for it right here behind a hitter like Edwin.
Now a stir again in the Blue Jays bullpen and the Twins as well. 3-1 pitch. Hit high in the air, but on the infield. Dozier fights the sun. It's an infield fly. He makes the catch. Edwin pops out for the second out. Pat Light starting to throw, looks like, in the Twins' pen. And nobody right now for the Blue Jays. As Russell Martin comes to the plate. Martin has walked and bounced into a double play this afternoon. He's the DH with Josh Tolley catching R.A. Dickey. Martin has homered in 6 of his last 11 games. Has an RBI in 9 of his last 11 games. Hitting .409 over that span going into today, so that's down a touch. Russ has worked that batting average all the way up to .249. He's got 2 on and 2 out, a big spot here, and a half swing. He does not go. It's ball 1.
I really think Kyle Gibson got away with one. He fell behind 3-1 to Edwin. Most of the pitches were down and in. He was working the lower part of the zone. And then 3-1, he's behind. He throws an elevated fastball, not by design, but it looks good to Edwin as a hitter because it's close to your eyes, and he's just unable to quite get to it, and that's why he pops it up.
Hopefully Russ can drive one. That's what he's trying to do here. 1-0 pitch to him is swung on and missed. Breaking ball. He was sitting heater, and it's 1-1.
That's a good slider that time from Gibson. One of the few good ones that we've seen that have stayed relatively close to the zone.
You've talked so many times about how Russ wants one big hit a game. Doesn't care about anything else, not the numbers. He's not worried. He's been on fire. This would be a great spot. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Another breaking ball. It's 1-2.
Yeah, that's one thing with Russ, too. And any hitter, you get to this point in the season, you really do tend to throw your stats out the window. You're trying to do whatever you can do to help your club win a ball game today. And right here for Russ, a big situation where he could close that gap with the Blue Jays down 3.
Bautista's at second. Donaldson is at first. 2 out, bottom of the 5th. 5-2. Blue Jays trailing the Twins. Trying to sweep away the worst team in the American League. 1-2 pitches fouled off. He went back. Slider again, and Russ stays alive.
Gibson has thrown a few much better off-speed pitches to Russell this at-bat. 2 sliders and a changeup now. The ones that he was struggling to find the zone with earlier so Blue Jays hitters could sit on the fastball. But now as a hitter, you've got both to contend with, both the off-speed and that potential fastball running in on your hands.
Gibson is set. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Another breaking ball. And Russ strikes out to strand 2. The single and the walk are left to board, and we go to the 6th with the Blue Jays trailing the Twins. And Dickey's first pitch to the switch hitting Grossman is up high for ball 1, 1-0. Scott Feldman now up and throwing for the Blue Jays, just beginning his warm-ups in the Blue Jays bullpen. The pitch is hit in the air to left field. Upton giving it a look as it twists foul, and it'll bounce into the seats. 1-1. It's a quiet crowd here. Likely another sellout. A lot of empty seats up in the 500s down the right field side. There's a line drive up the middle. Base hit for Grossman. Pillar's on it, and they'll get it back in. But I think a lot of those empty seats are because that's where the sun is just glaring down on people. It gets awfully hot up there.
And it was a quiet crowd yesterday in the 5th inning when the Blue Jays were down 5-1 before the fireworks began. So sit tight, folks. Blue Jays offense has some work to do.
Yeah, but RA's got to keep it here. 5-2. Runner on first and nobody out. It's Canada Baseball Day at the ballpark, so the Blue Jays are wearing red. But a lot of them, well, I don't think any of them have red accessories, so it's a bit of a weird look. There's a throw to first. Dickey, for example, is wearing his Red Sox high, as are Pilar and Upton, but Pilar and Upton have white shoes on. Dickey's still wearing his Blue Jay blue shoes. Pitches a called strike on Kurt Suzuki. It's a bit of a weird look out there.
Some of the Blue Jays with blue sleeves and or blue wristbands. A bit of a Texas Rangers look, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't have to bring them up. Donaldson's got the blue sleeve and blue wristbands. Tolley's got the blue catcher's mask with a red hat underneath. That pitch is fouled down the left side, and it's 0-2.
Josh wears his actual cap underneath that goalie-style mask. Some catchers go without. Some do have, I think, Yadier Molina with the Cardinals, you often see with that hat on backwards underneath his goalie-style catcher's mask, just because it helps it secure a little more tightly on your head.
Runner at first, it's 0-2. Throw over to first to check on Grossman. Robbie has tried to steal a base 4 times this year, and he's been caught 3. Suzuki's 0 for 2, grounded out and popped up. The 0-2 pitch, half swing. Does he go? They will not check. So it's ball 1 in the dirt. I call the crowd like this anticipatory. Ready to cheer, waiting to cheer, hoping for something good. Blue Jays are down 5-2. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Dickey strikes him out. 4th strikeout against 3 walks for RA.
You get a little bit of a cheer when the Blue Jays are on defense, but the big ones don't come until the bats come to the plate.
And come to life. Blue Jays are in Baltimore tomorrow to open a 3-game series. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, the Orioles have just taken a 1-0 lead in New York against the Yankees on Steve Pearce's 12th home run.
Nice pickup for the Orioles.
Yeah, former Oriole comes home, can swing the bat, hasn't had a great year this year. But he's helpful to them now, and he's leading off with Adam Jones dealing with that hamstring issue. First pitch to Eddie Rosario is high for ball 1. Rosario didn't start this game, came in as an injury replacement for Danny Santana, and what do you know, he's 2 for 2.
So often we see it, don't we, guys, that do not start the game, they get pressed into duty, or maybe find out at the last second that they are replacing someone.
1-0 pitch, hit weakly on the ground back to the mound. Dickey only has 1 play. He'll throw to first, 2 down.
And I think there's something to be said for that, about not preparing too much. I think as players, you get into such routines, and you do your hitting drills in the batting cage, on the tee, and soft toss, and batting practice on the field, and you do all this work to prepare for your start. Sometimes guys, especially when they're struggling, they'll just say, forget it, I'm not doing the cage today, I'm just going to roll it out there and do it. Maybe they're not going to wear batting gloves this day. All the different superstitions come forward. But maybe like for Eddie Rosario, it's just pressed into the line of duty, and he does it, and he's got a couple knocks today.
So strange how that happens, and so strange how it seems to happen so often. Here's Brian Dozier, 0 for 2 with a walk, and it was a big walk. Takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. Fans Jays Shop is Canada's largest and only official team shop for your Toronto Blue Jays. The new 2016 authentic jersey with 40th season sleeve patch is available now. Get yours today at jshop.ca. 0-1 pitch. Knuckleball inside. Tolley was barely able to hang on to that one. It's ball 1, 1-1. Now some fans are trying to get the wave going, but it hasn't picked up, which is lovely.
Not a wave fan?
I mean, 1-1 pitch is fouled off, 1-2. there are times when, fine, do the wave, have fun, but we've seen the wave happen with the tying run on base and stuff. And at a point in time where you should be actually watching the game, it's kind of exciting.
It's the fan experience.
It is the fan experience. It has its time and place. Runner at second, 2 out here. 5-2 Twins, top of the 6th. And time is called at the plate. They keep trying to get it going up there in right field in the 500s, and it hasn't made it past a section and a half.
Well, that sun is still pounding on the whole right side of the field here in the bleachers, and those fans are basking in it.
There's a swing and a miss. Dozier strikes out, and the inning is over. So Dickey gives up the leadoff single, leaves it on base, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. The Blue Jays down by 3, trailing the Twins. Fans, play the VTech Bottom of the 9th Trivia Challenge for your chance to win weekly VTech prize packs, plus the grand prize of a family trip for 4 to next year's spring training in Dunedin, Florida. Troy Tulowitzki puts a charge into the first pitch, and it is gone! Number 22 for Tulo. Instant offense, and the Blue Jays cut the Twins' lead to 5-3. You might get a chance to see him do that on a family trip for 4 to spring training in Dunedin.
Tula wasted no time jumping on a first pitch fastball from Kyle Gibson. He was up and on the inner part of the plate. Troy in swing mode got what he was looking for, and that got this Blue Jays crowd going here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now Kevin Pillar, who's 1 for 2, takes the first pitch down for ball 1. You can enter that VTech Bottom of the 9th Trivia Challenge now and play on your smartphone, tablet, or online at VTechTrivia.com for your chance to win. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. Pillar chases, and it's 1-1. Brett Cecil up in the bullpen for the Blue Jays, as Joe Mauer will lead off the 7th inning. Dickey at 96 pitches. 1-1 to Pillar is a strike right on the inside edge. 1-2. 5-3 Twins. Hits are even at 6 apiece. Each team has committed an error. 1-2 is low. Pillar laying off that slider down and away with 2 strikes. It's been an up and down year for Kevin at the plate, hitting .262 with a .291 on base. You expect both those numbers to be higher. 2-2 pitches whacked into the gap in left center. That is going to drop and bounce off the top of the wall. Grossman picks it up. Pillar is in with a double. His 2nd hit of the day. And there's one out for yesterday. There's nobody out for yesterday's hero.
Well, those numbers just got higher. Kevin was able to lay off that pitcher's pitch. Gibson trying to get him to chase the slider down the zone. He does not bite. Buys himself another pitch, and this time Gibson is on the plate with his 2-2 slider, and Kevin puts a very good swing on it, drilling it into the left center gap.
Now Melvin Upton yesterday hit a line drive to right field that Max Kepler dove for and missed, and it turned into the game winner with Kevin Pillar on second. First pitch is inside on Upton. Ball 1. Melvin is grounded out, flied out today. Still 1 home run away from a 2020 season. 19 home runs combined with the Jays and Padres and 24 stolen bases. Pitch is swung on and missed. He can't lay off that changeup 1-1.
He's been really throwing some good changeups, Gibson, as we look back at that last inning, that bat, Russell Martin eventually striking him out on that changeup. It's been a good pitch for him, even right-hander against the right-handed hitters.
Twins play Upton pretty much straight up. Brian Dozier is shaded towards the middle at second. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to short. Polanco's there. Upton moves well, and the throw is in time. That's the first out. Pillar comes down to third. It brings up Devin Travis, and it brings us to our Ask the Experts question, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice. And Joe, today's question comes from at Arjodo. Send it in on Twitter using the hashtag HHExperts. And it is perfectly suited to a man who did as much work behind the plate as you in his professional career. First pitch to Travis, whacked over second. That's a base hit. Just over the reach of Dozier. In to score is Pilar. And we got a one-run ball game. The Blue Jays are down 5-4. No waiting around for Travis. He's got 2 hits as well.
Well, another first pitch. Blue Jays hitters jumping on him. Troy Tulowitzki jumped on a first pitch fastball to homer this inning. Devin Travis says, let me in on that. It was a fastball on the inside corner. Really pulls his hands in nicely. Just up and over the outstretched glove of Brian Dozier and into right center field.
And Paul Molitor has seen enough. That's going to be it for Kyle Gibson. He leaves with 1 out here in the 6th inning. He's given
your first name, and you just have that constant dialogue. The last thing you want to do is with your body language kind of, quote, show him up on a call that you may have thought he missed. Very important to have that conversation going both ways.
Josh Thole comes to the plate with Devin Travis at first. 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Blue Jays down 5-4. They've scored a couple in this inning, and Light's first pitch is up for ball 1. Pat Light pitched in the 6th inning on Friday night. He struck out Jose Bautista, but then walked Josh Donaldson and Edwin Encarnacion back-to-back and gave up a 3-run double to Russell Martin as part of the Blue Jays' 15-8 win. 1-0 to Thole inside, and Kurt Suzuki almost can't make that catch. Had to stab at it off to his right. It's ball 2, 2-0.
It's important, too, as a catcher, too, when you ask him those questions on those close pitches, when a ball that you think has the corner, he says, no, I've got that off the plate away. You just say, okay, I've got it on the corner. I got to have that pitch. And they respect that. That's not a problem at all.
2-0 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. 2-1. And I'm wondering if, too, the questioner wasn't asking, is there like an ongoing conversation that maybe might not have anything to do with the game?
Oh, sure. I can tell you can be talking with the umpire about anything between hitters.
2-1 pitch, lined on a hop to Mauer. He'll throw to second, 1 back to first, and it's a 3-6-1 double play. Thole hit that ball hard, but right at the Twins' first baseman. The double play takes the Blue Jays out of the 6th, but they score a pair. We head to the 7th. Jerry.
Baseball. Hi, this is Jose Bautista, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
The 7th inning is proudly brought to you by 401 Dixie Hyundai. Drew Fraser and his team are celebrating 20 years serving the GTA during the Hyundai Advantage event. And if you're a young professional interested in helping Jays Care Foundation go beyond the ballpark, join the Jays Care Foundation Young Professionals roster. For more information, visit jayscare.com. Crowd here today, 47,444. 47444. Another sold-out game for the Blue Jays. That's 32 and counting. And as we go to the 7th inning, Twins lead at 5-4. Lefty Brett Cecil on to face Joe Mauer. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch is in there. Strike 1 called. Scott Feldman, the 6'7" right-hander, warming up in the Blue Jays' pen in left center. Mauer has grounded out and then walked twice the last time in a 4-run 5th inning when Dickey walked a couple and both walks came back to score. Mauer takes it outside. R.A. goes 6 innings, charged with 3 earned runs, 5 total on 8 hits. Struck out 5, walked 3. An error by Donaldson, a pass ball by Thole cost him the 2 unearned runs. 96 pitches. Brett ready, and the 1-1 pitch. That's outside, 2-1.
Cecil working in his 40th ball game of the season. He worked on Thursday night against the Angels, came in and walked the only batter he faced, left-handed hitting Cole Calhoun in that Blue Jays 6-3 loss.
So Brett is ready. Max Kepler's on deck, another left-handed hitter. Mauer lines one into the left field. That's a base hit. Upton over to cut it off. Does so. Plants, turns, throws it back to the infield. Mauer goes the other way, and Brett having trouble getting left-handed hitters.
Well, he falls behind 2-1 to Mauer and leaves a fastball up and out over the plate. And Joe Mauer does what he does so well, and that's lining balls the other way.
So Brett has two left-handed hitters back-to-back, and then after that, Trevor Plouffe, Miguel Sano, and I think that's the presence of Scott Feldman out there in the bullpen.
Looks like Feldman is pretty much warmed up and ready to go. I got to believe we're going to see him face the next hitter, Trevor Plouffe, the right-hander.
Kepler, left-handed batter, as we mentioned, takes ball one. Seventh inning, the Blue Jays 4 runs on 8 hits. The Twins 5 runs on 7 hits. So the Blue Jays have out-hit the Twins, but trailed by a run on the 2 miscues and unearned runs. Mauer, the lead. Kepler awaits the 1-0 pitch, drills one down the right side foul. That's heading back toward the seats and will hug the line and go foul by about a couple of feet. The winds kind of pushed that one back. That will look like it was fouled by plenty and then started to straighten out.
I think it did exactly that. It tells you that wind is really coming in from behind home plate and blowing out. Bautista did not look like he was going to give chase there, and he ended up getting right on him, just barely foul down that right field line in the corner.
Cecil ready. Edwin holds on the run of the 1-1 pitch. That's high. Kepler, I think it's fair to say, has the best 0 for 3 day going. He struck out in the first, grounded into a fielder's choice to drive in a run to tie the game at 1 in the third, grounded back to the mound to drive in a run that tied the game at 2 in the 5th inning. That's pretty good 0 for 3. The pitch is low to him, 3 balls and 1 strike.
And that's how you drive in a lot of runs. We talk about many of the run producers in this game. Of course, Edwin comes to mind first and foremost in a Blue Jays uniform. It's not always the doubles and home runs and extra base hits. It's the ground ball in the infield with the infield back, cashing in those opportunities.
3-1 pitch, that's foul back, and it's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. August 1st in Cleveland, Kepler hit 3 home runs. 5th Minnesota Twin ever to do that in the franchise history, with Justin Morneau, the late and great Bob Allison, Harmon Killebrew, also has passed away, and Tony Oliva. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Well, Cecil gives up the hit, then the strikeout. Here comes John Gibbons to get him. So Brett gets 1 out of 2. And Scott Feldman will come on now to take on the dangerous Trevor Plouffe.
Well, that's the Brett Cecil curveball that Pete Walker, of course, has been known to see, and that was a very good one from Brett right there, getting Kepler to chase despite the leadoff single to Joe Mauer. John Gibbons is
392 off him. Trevor Plouffe comes up here. Already today 1 for 3, an RBI single and scored in the 4-run 5th inning when the Twins not only tied it up, went ahead 5-2 in this game after 4.5 innings. Plouffe with 5 runs batted in. He's homered in the first 2 games. Mauer at first, 1 out 7th inning. Twins 5, Blue Jays 4. Plouffe takes it outside, ball 1.
Well, Scott Feldman has not started off the way he's wanted to in a Blue Jays uniform, but there's still a lot of baseball to be played, and he knows that he can be a big part of this. It's the reason why he was acquired, and fastball will be around 90, curveball, cutter, and split finger pitch. And he's looking to get out of this right here, keep the Blue Jays within 1.
And the 1-0 pitch is outside. And this is really where Scott Feldman's fortunate. He was known as a leader himself in the bullpen with Houston. Pat Neshek talked about Scott that way. But he's fortunate to have Jason Grilli as a teammate, because when things aren't going well, that's where Jason comes up and says, come on, let's get it together.
That's where you have to pick each other up as teammates, indeed. And Jason knows that better than anyone with all of his experiences in this game.
The 2-0 pitch hit down the right field side foul. And one of the reasons Feldman has given up 20 hits over 10 2/3 innings, the count. And here it was 2-0.
Falling behind out of the bullpen, very close to the zone, but when you fall behind, you just help that hitter out a ton. And we've seen Trevor Plouffe do some damage here to the Blue Jays in this series.
Now, Troy Tulowitzki from short has come to the mound and has asked for Tolle to come out and probably get together on the signs here. Those infielders, those middle infielders, they need to know what the signs are. Then they pass them on to the corner infielders.
And you wonder, too, if Troy maybe isn't even asking, what is exactly your plan here against Trevor Plouffe? Plouffe has had success against the Blue Jays here this series. He's homered a couple of times, big RBI single in his last at-bat in the 5th inning.
So Feldman on the mound, Tolle back behind the plate. Tulowitzki at short, infield conventional depth. Mauer the lead here in the 7th. The 2-1 pitch hit on the ground, weakly to third. Backhanded by Donaldson. Go to second 1. Travis back to first. Call it 2. An inning-ending double play. Great job by Scott Feldman. Bottom of the 7th we go. Twins 5, Blue Jays 4. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
What a time for baseball. And Miller Lite is proud to be a part of it as the official beer of Major League Baseball.
More terms and conditions do apply. Visit westjet.com/getgold to learn more. 5-4 Minnesota, bottom of the 7th inning. Jose Bautista against Pat Light. He's in with a first pitch strike. Jose doubled to left center field to begin the game, later scored the game's first run. He's since fouled out to the catcher and singled on the ground to center. He's 2 for 3. 4 hits in the series in 10 at-bats. There's a swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes, and Jose right there was looking for home run number 16 to tie it up. The veteran Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. Light set. Strike 2 pitch. Hit on the ground between third and short. Through into left field. It goes. A base hit. Grossman throws it back to second on a hop. Jose returns to first, representing the tying run.
Third baseman, number 20, Josh Donaldson.
Jose continues to swing a hot bat down in the count 0-2, just trying to be very defensive and put a ball in play here, but he took a pretty healthy hack. Pat Light missing with that fastball up in the zone, and Jose finds the hole on the left side.
And as tightly bunched as the third baseman and shortstop were, you have to hit the ball hard to do that.
And he did.
Donaldson up here. He's homered, flied out deep to right center, and walked. Josh takes it inside, ball 1, the home run. Back in the 3rd inning, gave the Blue Jays a brief 2-1 lead. It was number 31. Josh has homered in 3 of his last 4 games. The home run gave him a 7-game hitting streak, but more to the point, he has now hit safely in 14 of his last 16 games. It's a high fly ball to center field, not that deep. And now it's pretty deep, and now it keeps carrying, and there she goes. Josh Donaldson has given the Blue Jays a 6-5 lead on a ball hit to center field that Eddie Rosario looked at going back, and then all of a sudden turned and realized it was going to carry the day.
Baseman number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
Pat Light left this fastball in the inner part of the plate. Josh looked like he hit it in the air too high. Jerry, we talked about it last inning. The foul ball down the right field line that seemed like it was way foul, and it almost came back and was fair. That's telling us the wind was blowing that way, and Josh got it up in a jet stream.
The pitch is low, ball 1. Even the Twins yesterday were commenting on how much the balls were carrying yesterday, and they asked about the roof being open, and now it just carries all the time, but even more so now with the roof open. The pitch is low. That ball initially did not look like it was going to clear the wall.
And we have seen throughout the course of today, even down at field level, you look at the umpire's shirt, players' jerseys, their pant legs, they're really blowing. There's a lot happening down there, and even up there where Josh just hit that ball.
Edwin checks his swing, fouls it off to the right here in the 7th inning of a 6-5 game Blue Jays now. And even those banners hanging over the Jays Vision scoreboard, for just a fleeting moment there, you couldn't even read the numbers or the inscriptions on them because they were all swirling around in the wind.
Get it up there and let her go, and that's exactly what Donaldson did.
Edwin takes it high. So Donaldson, home runs numbers 31 and 32 today. 4 home runs over his last 4 games. And more to the point, the Blue Jays, down 5-2 after 4.5 innings, have now taken the lead again. The pitch hit on the ground to third. Taken by Plouffe. He throws it on to first to get Edwin. So Edwin with a sacrifice fly today. He's retired. And that's the first out here this 7th inning.
Designated hitter number 55, Russell Martin.
We were visiting with Paul Molitor today in his office. Great friend and World Series MVP here in 1993. That's one of those dark blue banners up there. It's waving in the winds here at the Rogers Center. Here's Martin. He takes strike 1 called, and Paul reiterated what he had told Corey Provost, the fine radio play-by-play announcer of the Twins. Just when you think you've seen everything, you haven't.
Poor Paul. He is going through some kind of time with this club this season.
Swing and a miss by Russ. No balls and 2 strikes, and Paul is the best manager in this situation to try to not let the bottom fall out when, to a great degree, it already has.
Yeah, exactly. It's really a lost season for these Twins, especially after the successes they were trying to build upon from last season. It just has not worked out that way.
Martin takes it outside.
He seems to have the right demeanor to lead this club, though, into 2017. Of course, the Twins, they've always been a lower budget type club, right about middle of the pack now, though, in the major leagues, trying to draw from that farm system and continue to improve.
And the 1-2 pitch is low. Paul was mentioning that with us today, too, in his office. He said, I'm under a 3-year contract, and they're going to honor the 3rd year, so he's back for 2017. Last year, he almost brought the Twins to the 500 mark. So this is a great turnaround and fall off from last year. The pitch line to left down the line. That's hooking, foul by about 4 or 5 feet. And Martin back to the plate. Still bat in hand. It's 2-2. On that look ahead, the Blue Jays tomorrow night are in Baltimore, first of 3 against the Orioles. All night games. We're on at 7:05 first pitches. Wade Miley against Marco Estrada tomorrow night. Ubaldo Jimenez Tuesday night against Jay Happ. Giovanni Gallardo against Aaron Sanchez on Wednesday. The pitch is low and the half swing does not go. It'll be nice to see Aaron back, who misses the start, went down to Dunedin, Florida.
Yeah, we'll see how this whole thing shakes out. We talked about the first 2 games of the series. Both Estrada and Happ will be working on just their regular 4 days rest. Aaron will have 10 days from his last start, so it'll be very interesting to see how he responds in that role.
Martin hits one foul third base side.
The whole idea is to get him that rest, pull back a little bit, and it'll be interesting still moving forward. I think this is, again, an evolving type of experiment here for the Blue Jays. John Gibbons and Pete Walker, they're getting their heads together here, trying to do what's best for this club. I think the ultimate goal here is to try to have Aaron available in the rotation deep into the season and potentially the postseason.
A 3-2 pitch lifted foul over the Twins' first base dugout. Martin has walked, hit into a double play, and struck out. By the way, for Josh Donaldson, 3 RBIs. That's 8 runs batted in this weekend. Doesn't that remind you of last August in Anaheim when he and Mike Trout went head-to-head for the MVP award at that time, and Josh drove in 9.
Pretty well when he went and won the MVP award that month of August, and he's catching fire again.
3-2 pitch, popped up into shallow left field. Shortstop goes out, left fielder comes in. Grossman calls, the left fielder makes the catch. 2 down. That's what really caused the separation between Donaldson and Trout. And then Josh just went to even a higher level and won the MVP award. And here today, he's put himself right back in that category with an 8th run batted in.
He's such a good hitter, and when these good hitters like that caliber get hot, there's nothing that can stop them, and that's what Josh can do. He can pile up the home runs. Of course, with that, the RBIs come right along. The batting average shoots up. This could be the start of a lot of very good things to come. A strong finish for Donaldson.
Tulowitzki homered his last time up. He's 1 for 3. He takes strike 1 called. Tulowitzki is fouled out, lined out to center. Did not get a base hit out of that. And then hit one over the center field wall. First pitch swinging, 6th inning. Home run number 22. Blue Jays 6, Twins 5 now here in the 7th. Troy takes it inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Blue Jays about hit the Twins now 10-7. Very tall, erect stance there, right over the plate. The pitch and lined into center field, a base hit. And it literally took the glove off pitcher Pat Light, who went to try to glove it, and the ball nicked his glove, and then he found the glove just flying behind the mound. Tulowitzki with a 2-out hit.
You don't see that too often. Tulo had to really reach out over the plate for this. Light just went up for it. He was not going to get to the baseball, but his glove went flying right off his hand. That should make the bloopers real.
Paul Molitor has come out. He's going to go to his bullpen once again, as the Blue Jays in this entire series have seen themselves trailing 4-1 back on Friday night. Then
Jeffrey Marte has his 10th home run and 3 RBIs. Nick Buss has an RBI double. And another last place team giving it to a playoff contender, Rays, 4-2 over Houston in the 4th.
Kevin Pillar, the batter. Jaguars' first pitch outside.
Well, Shagwell was a 2nd-round draft pick of the Twins in 2012. Posted an ERA of just 1.35 in 39 appearances between AAA Rochester and AA Chattanooga this season.
Kevin up here, 2 for 3, a single and a double. Doubled and scored his last time up. Pitch on the way outside, gets off the glove of Suzuki, comes to the backstop, and up to second base goes Tulowitzki. A wild pitch charged to Shagwa. JT spells that last name Chargois. Correctly pronounced Shagwa. Blue Jays with 2 here in this 7th inning. A 2-run home run by Josh Donaldson for the 6-5 lead. Right-handers pitch inside. Moving away is Pilar. And once again, a member of the Twins bullpen comes out and goes 3-0 on a hitter. How many times have we seen that this weekend?
Well, he's only worked in 9 games for the Twins, but he's allowed 13 hits in 9 1/3 innings. He's walked 6 and struck out only 3. Opponents hitting over 350 against him, so it's been a struggle.
And the 3-0 pitch taken for a strike. Now, that was a situation there with a 1-run lead. If you get the green light on 3-0, hit it. With a 1-run lead, it's close enough that you can do some damage. Kevin took the pitch, and now maybe getting the same pitch, but with first base open, you don't know that. Shagwa ready. Tulowitzki a big lead at second, the 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Pilar draws the walk for Melvin Upton.
Left fielder number 7, Melvin Upton Jr.
Well, it's a good plate appearance by Kevin, because when you're 3-0 or 3-1, regardless of the situation, you're looking for one spot, and Kevin got the fastball in the inside corner 3-0. That's not necessarily where he was looking. Let it go. It continues his plate appearance, and he does work the walk against the reliever Shagwa.
Upton comes up here 0 for 3 today. Shagwa's pitch moves outside, ball 1. Upton yesterday had the triple and scored on the error by the right fielder Max Kepler to win it 8-7 in thrilling fashion. 47,485 saw that yesterday. Today, 47,444. Another sold-out game today, number 32. Right-hander misses outside, 2-0. This 7th inning starts with the Twins enjoying a 1-run lead, but Bautista singled to left off the tall right-hander Pat Light. Donaldson then homered to center for the 6-5 lead. 2 outs later, Tulowitzki a single, knocking out Light, bringing in Shagwa, who walked Pilar. And now Blue Jays at first and second. Upton fouls one off to the right. 2 balls and 1 strike. No truer words have been sung here at the Rogers Center this weekend. Glove at the waist, a look at second, 2 down, 6-5 Blue Jays. 7th, the pitch is outside, somehow speared by Suzuki, saving a wild pitch. Kurt is very good back there, and he got a good test that time.
Well, that was one of those sliders so far out of the zone that you cannot even get over into your blocking position. Shagwa just pulled that ball into the left-handed batter's box. Suzuki's only chance was to go to try to backhand it, and he came up with it cleanly.
The 3-1 pitch, lined to the right center field, up the gap. That's going to split the outfielders and go all the way to the wall. Tulowitzki scores. Heading home, Kevin Pilar, he scores on a double by Upton. Blue Jays 8, Twins 5.
Second baseman number 29, Devin Travis.
Well, the youngster Shagwa falls behind another veteran hitter, and he has to come with a 3-1 fastball. The inner part of the plate. Melvin does a nice job shooting this ball into the right center gap all the way to the wall. And this is that Blue Jays offense at work right now. Very imperative at this time of the ballgame to try to add on. They've done just that.
The batter, Devin Travis. Single homer run last time up. Right-handed hitter takes outside ball 1 from the tall right-hander. Upton continues to go the other way, and now playing every day. He's certainly a different player than the Blue Jays first saw in his first 16 games here. Hitting 149 with a couple of strikeouts per game.
Feeling more and more comfortable in his new uniform.
Devin takes a strike, 1-1.
And I don't think that can be understated. Players going to new teams, you certainly understand those struggles at times, because most of the things are not even baseball related. It's about moving to a new city. It's getting your family organized. How are you going to get them there? Then sometimes when you get traded, immediately have to get up and leave by yourself.
A swing and a miss by Devin, 1-2.
So you can certainly understand sometimes how it takes the time, whether it's a week or two before you get things settled, and you do start getting back into your routine with your new team and getting acclimated to your new teammates and coaches. There's a lot going on when you get traded, and it looks like Melvin is just now getting comfortable.
And looking back, the big swing of this inning, not only Donaldson for the lead, but the two-out single to center by Troy Tulowitzki. Upton the lead at second. And the 1-2 pitch. Strike three called. Travis caught looking. Inning over, but 4 runs later. Jason Grilli's the 8th inning pitcher in the Blue Jays bullpen. He's coming out to face the Twins in the 8th. All of a sudden, down 5-2. The Blue Jays lead it 8-5. For 8th inning is brought to you by Super 8 Hotels. Baseball road trips in Super 8, that's what they call a triple play. Journey onward, super8.com. And a reminder, kick off your week with the greatest superstars in sports entertainment, WWE Raw. That's tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Sportsnet 360 and Sportsnet Now. Josh Donaldson with his 10th career multi-home run game. Home runs in the 3rd and 7th innings, each to give the Blue Jays a lead, 2-1 in the 3rd, 6-5 in the 7th. Blue Jays would add 2 more after that and lead the Twins 8-5. Here as we go to the 8th inning, and right-hander Jason Grilli to face young DH Miguel Sano. A slider, a knee-buckling slider, strike one called.
Well, Jason currently riding a 12 scoreless inning streak. He's been throwing the ball very well for the Blue Jays. He worked in yesterday's ball game, got the win coming in relief, pitching a scoreless inning, allowed 1 hit and struck out a pair.
He is set on the mound. Back he comes, breaking ball outside. The thing is, after an inning, though, Jason is so kind of blah and bland and shows no emotion.
No, he just walks right off the mound.
Oh, he is a symbol of activity, energy, and let's go. He's been a terrific addition. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Strike 2 called outside corner. Now, on the other hand, another terrific addition is another 39-year-old Joaquin Benoit, but he's at the other end of the spectrum, quiet and understated, but both have made significant contributions.
Both very key acquisitions for the Blue Jays here this season. Jason coming earlier in the season, Benoit at the deadline, but they've really solidified the back end of this bullpen. Benoit in the 7th, really in the 8th, and they hand it over to Roberto soon in the 9th.
And the 1-2 pitch is outside. Francisco Liriano has been quite an addition, too. 4 starts, ERA under 4. Liriano just picked up his first win, but when you look at his numbers, too, with a little bit more run support, Liriano, instead of being 1-1, could easily be 2-1 or even 3-1.
I still think they like what they're seeing from Liriano, and hopefully they're going to get more of that down the stretch.
Off-speed pitch, strike 3 called. Sano caught looking, and the veteran took him to school. 1 down.
Shortstop number 11, Jorge Polanco.
Well, that's that outstanding slider from Jason Grilli. It's his best pitch. He'll mix in that fastball, 92, 93, the occasional changeup, mostly to lefties. But that slider, it's a knee buckler against righties, and he'll throw it to both sides of the plate to left-handed batters.
Here's switch hitter Jorge Polanco, 0 for 3 today. Blue Jays 8 runs on 12 hits. Twins 5 runs on 7 hits. Into this 8th inning, 1 out. Robbie Grossman on deck. The Grilli pitch moves outside, ball 1. Blue Jays a run in the 1st inning. Edwin sacrifice fly cashed in Bautista's double. It was Donaldson who got that double over to third with a long fly ball hit to deep right center. Then the Twins scored a run in the 3rd, and Josh got it right back in the bottom of the 3rd with his 31st home run to make it 2-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Twins then rallied for 4 in the 5th inning. R.A. Dickey did get the last out, so the Twins were ahead 5-2. And that's the way the game went to the bottom of the 6th inning. R.A. turning the Twins away in that 6th inning. And then the Blue Jays scored a couple to get back in it. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, strike 2 called. Tulowitzki led off that 2-run 6th inning with a home run. Later, Devin Travis with an RBI base hit to right. That cut the Twins' lead to 5-4. Dickey was gone after 6. Brett Cecil came on with Scott Feldman to blank the Twins in the 7th inning. And in the bottom of the 7th, the Blue Jays struck for 4 Donaldson, the 2-run home run. Melvin Upton, the 2-run double. Grilly is high. So your pitcher of record is Scott Feldman, who got the big double play with 1 on and 1 out, picking up Cecil.
And how about that big double play after the visit from Troy Tulowitzki? You don't often see the shortstop come in, but I talked about possibly the veteran watching Plouffe throughout the series. Plouffe had done some damage against the Blue Jays. I think he had a suggestion for Scott Feldman right there. He threw a fastball in the inner part of the plate, got the 5-4-3 double play.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out on a fastball. 2 down.
Left fielder number 36, Robbie Grossman.
Grilly yesterday had the scoreless 8th inning, 2 strikeouts. Sano led off the inning with a base hit, and then 2 strikeouts and a fly out to left. So Grilly comes in here back-to-back games. Jason pitched on Thursday, so he's pitched in 3 of the last 4 games. 2 down in the 8th inning. The Blue Jays lead the Twins 8-5. Grossman up here takes strike 1 called, and that's all Grilly's seemingly doing here is throwing 1 strike after another. Slider, fastball, fastball, slider.
And there's that slider backdoor to the left-handed batter. I talked about how he'll use both sides of the plate. That's a great first pitch against the left-handed batter. You're not looking for that as a hitter. It's an easy first pitch strike.
And the 0-1 pitch is low. Minnesota will bring in Alex Wimmers to face the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 8th inning. The right-hander finishing his warm-ups as we see him through the chain link fence in right center field on a beautiful sunny day here at the Rogers Center. And the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball fouled on the right side. We see a lot of blue sky and just a smattering of white clouds overhead. So a fan got hit with that ball, a lot of arc to it, and not sure if the fan saw it or not, and they're calling for some help right away. Usually it's those line drives that are fouled into the stands you have to really watch out for, but here, this ball looked like it came right down and hit somebody unaware. So a lot of attention, people standing and looking down the right field line about 15 rows up. Now they have to turn, make sure that they don't miss what's happening here with Robbie Grossman, maybe another foul ball. 2 down, nobody on. The 1-2 pitch is high. We forget, too, how those baseballs are weapons when they go into the stands.
And that was a high pop-up, too. That's not one that you would think is going to hurt somebody, but if it comes down and hits you directly, it can certainly do some damage.
2-2 on Grossman, who's 1 for 3, a single to center. Really ready. Here he comes. He's high, ball 3. Donaldson, a couple of home runs. Tulowitzki, a home run. Blue Jays, 3 of them. The Twins without a home run. They had a 2-run home run yesterday from Plouffe and Trevor, a home run in the first inning Friday night. Grilly looks in for the sign, and asking for time and getting it is Grossman. Now he's back in there. No shift on. Conventional lineup, infield and outfield straight away. Glove at the waist. The 3-2 pitch. High ball 4, a 2-out walk. Is going to bring up the veteran catcher, Kurt Suzuki. Born on the island of Maui in Hawaii, we've seen Kurt over the years. The Oakland A's drafted him 2nd round out of Cal State Fullerton way back in 2004. You catchers have a penchant for hanging around. Suzuki is 32 now. Won the College World Series with his battery mate, left-hander Ricky Romero, who the next year was a Blue Jays first-round pick. Now out of the game. The pitch is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Kurt, as we said, grew up in Hawaii, did a lot of body surfing. He said using his hands and shoulders on that surfboard as a youngster strengthened those shoulders, and he felt really made him a stronger athlete. Grilly set. Pitch to him. Rolled out weakly to the mound. Grilly has it. Takes his time. Underhand toss to Edwin. The inning is over. Bottom of the 8th inning we go. Blue Jays 8, Twins 5. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's Rush Hour
and you just want to get home for dinner. You're starving because the last thing you ate was a chocolate bar at your desk. Then it hits, you open the
.com/luxury suites. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Blue Jays have come off the mat again, trailing 5-2 after 4.5 innings to lead the Twins 8-5, out-hitting Minnesota 12-7. Right-hander Alex Wimmers comes on to face Josh Thole.
The 27-year-old right-hander was recalled by the Twins on Friday, made his major league debut that night, pitched a perfect inning with a couple of strikeouts.
And here he is facing Thole, who's 0 for 3. And then Jose Bautista and Josh Donaldson. Thole takes strike one called. Tomorrow night, the Blue Jays are at Oriole Park in Camden Yards. Game 1 of 3 straight night games against Baltimore. Wade Miley against Marco Estrada. We're on the air at 7:05 first pitch. Thole grounds one over the mound toward the second base bag, taken by the shortstop. Nice sidearm toss to first in time. Pretty play by Jorge Polanco, and did not collide with second baseman Brian Dozier.
We've seen one collision already today between two Twins outfielders, and that looked like both the shortstop and second baseman were going for this. Polanco cuts in front of Dozier to make the play on the run.
The Orioles, by the way, are at Yankee Stadium, bottom of the 8th inning. They're in pretty good command of that game, leading the Yankees 5-0. So the Yankees trying to get back in that game, but Baltimore trying to just stay in the race. Still time to play in this season. The Orioles come in 3 games behind the Blue Jays. Boston a game back. Boston tonight, the Sunday night game of the week. They're at home against Kansas City. Bautista takes ball 1. Jose's had a big day. A strike on the outside corner from Wimmers, 1-1. Jose doubled and scored in the first inning. That's the collision Joe was talking about between the outfielders up against the left center field wall. Jose hits a high fly ball to left field. Robbie Grossman comes on. He's standing in the shadows of the light towers here on this bright sunny day. He makes the catch. 2 down. Jose, with the double and run scored, has since fouled up, single to center, and then single to center, and Donaldson brought him home with his second home run. Josh homered in the 3rd inning for a 2-1 lead, his 31st. Then, with Bautista's single aboard, Josh muscled one over the center field wall, his 32nd, 10th career multi-home run game. And that gave the Blue Jays a 6-5 lead. Later, Melvin Upton would double home 2 for an 8-5 lead, and that's the score here in the bottom of the 8th. Josh takes strike 1.
A good day for the Blue Jays leadoff hitter Jose Bautista, back in the fold, and that's why you have to love him up at the top of the lineup. 3 hits today. He's been on base 3 times. He's come around to score twice.
He takes it low, as does Josh, 1-1.
Jose has such a great ability to get a good pitch to hit. He's got such a keen eye of the
this game. Roberto Osuna pitched in the ball game yesterday, picked up the save, and he threw 16 pitches. This is not a save situation as the Blue Jays have a 4-run lead.
Yeah, I thought that after that home run by Josh Donaldson, we might see Bo Schultz, but John Gibbons says, you know what, I want to lock this one down. I got to bring in my closer right here. He's only thrown twice in a week.
Justin Smoke takes over defensively at first base in place of Edwin Encarnacion, and Ezequiel Carrera is in right for Bautista. First pitch swinging right to Tulowitzki. Rosario lines up.
Well, that's what you like to see right there. Quick innings, 1 pitch, 1 out.
Brian Dozier has taken the collar so far. He's 0 for 3 this afternoon with a walk. Leadoff man. Dozier batting .268 as we speak. Dickey started. Cecil went a 1/3 of an inning. Scott Feldman got a big double play in the 7th.
And he might be rewarded with the win.
He is in line for the win. It would be his 2nd win as a Blue Jay. Josh Thole takes this shot right on the chin, literally.
He says that mask right there, he says those type of foul balls, don't even feel them. That hockey mask.
Joe Mauer. First pitch changeup to Mauer. Mauer is 1 for 2 with a pair of walks. Osuna threw 16 pitches in the game yesterday. John Gibbons and Pete Walker, the pitching coach, would just love to have him throw about that many today. Yeah. No more than that. Big 3-game series coming up tomorrow night. Don't miss it. Should be great action. We'll be in Baltimore for a 3-game series. Marco Estrada will open things up against the lefty Wade Miley. They're in the top of the 9th in New York. Baltimore has a 5-0 lead over the Yankees. CC Sabathia on the hook for the loss. Kevin Gausman, a terrific outing. 7 innings, 7 hits, no runs, and 9 strikeouts. Tommy Hunter is into the game.
Tommy Hunter
re-signed by the Orioles. Ground ball, base hit into center. Dozier's going to come around to score. Mauer has an RBI single, his second hit of the afternoon.
Joe's been struggling with a quad injury, so he hasn't been swinging the bat like we know he can. That time he's going to plate Dozier. John Gibbons trying to get the attention of Justin Smoak, having him play behind him. I've seen him do this for years and years and years. Drive a ball back through the middle, knock in a run.
The Twins have scored 21 runs in this 3-game series, and they're on the verge of being swept.
And this could be 10 losses for them. In 8 of those losses, they've given up at least 8 runs. So Paul Molitor's team, they've been swinging the bats. They've got 6 runs and 9 hits already. That should be enough to win.
0-2 to Kepler. Osuna working in a non-save situation. 0-2, 1 out. A run in here in the top half of the 9th.
Good pitch upstairs with that fastball. We saw Osuna yesterday do a couple of interesting things. He had that hesitation move to mess up the timing of the hitters, where he freezes and holds over the rubber.
Kepler turns and rips it into the seats, foul. Osuna faced Dozier, Mauer, and Kepler in the 9th inning yesterday. So he's been given the same 3 hitters here today with 1 out. Dozier doubled, Mauer singled, and now Kepler behind 0-2.
He got Kepler to end the ball game with a fastball up and away.
This is popped up. Tolle over near the Blue Jays dugout will get there and make the catch. Blue Jays trying to go 4-2 on this 6-game homestand. They have a 9-game road trip coming up. Baltimore, Tampa Bay, and New York back into the AL East. Booth swings and misses.
So 13 pitches, 11 strikes.
47,444 fans in attendance. Blue Jays are the only team in the American League to average over 40,000 fans. The 3 other teams in Major League Baseball are the Dodgers, the Cardinals, and the Giants, all over 40,000. 1-2. Josh Donaldson, 3 for 4, 3 home runs, 3 runs scored, and 4 RBIs. He now has 33 home runs and 91 RBIs.
Making that push once again to get into that conversation for MVP. Helping your team to a win.
Up the middle, base hit for Plouffe. Mauer will stop at second.
That quiets the crowd as the tying run's going to come to the plate.
Miguel Sano. He represents the tying run. Sano drove in 2 runs in the 5th. He's a 20 home run hitter. On the afternoon, he's 2 for 4.
That's where you got to figure out, you got to get back that scatter report and say, okay, how are we going to get him out? I think with pitches off the edges, because he is a free swinger, 350 at bats, he struck out 139 times.
Almost 50% of the time he strikes out.
Make a pitch.
One and 2. Ball game. Sano strikes out and the Blue Jays sweep the Twins.
Another comeback victory for the Blue Jays. They spot Minnesota a lead early, 5-2, but they stormed back again just like in yesterday's ball game. And it was the home run this afternoon. Josh Donaldson with the big day. Roberto Osuna caps it, and the Blue Jays get some momentum as they head out on the road.
The 29th come from behind win of the season.